week, incredible battles, short tracks with small cars, and it gave us great racing. This year, we do it all over again, but with a bit of a different twist. We're here at the Music City, Nashville Fairgrounds, and as you can see, late models are not on the track right now. We begin with a 30-minute appetizer. Qualifying underway, you'll get the timing up in just a moment, and you can see the Formula Vs take the track as we get things rolling here in Nashville. Great to have you all here live on FTN. I'm your host for tonight's broadcast, and tonight I am not alone. Alongside me, we have Alexander Balderas, who will walk you through the main event, and our producer, Cody Deemers, right there with us. Alex, we're getting things started here in Nashville. Only just begun, qualifying almost over, and the race will get on its way. How do you feel heading into this one with so much changing? In a way, new machines are being used for the first time in this series.
Well, I'm happy to be back here. My FTN booth returns. It's going to be a great one here tonight, folks. It's amazing that we get to do this OSRL Short Track Showdown again. So put FTN on the map last year, making iRacing's March top 10 incredible with the OSRL E-mods, and then we did it later. So it's great to be back here with OSRL, these great bunch of guys. Great to be back here in the booth as well. And this is going to be a tight battle for pole with James Thurston, Tryphon Davis, and Harry Grindell all going for the top spot, where James Thurston just set a 21.780, and the battle for second is still super tight between Tryphon Davis and Harry Grindell. But tightest right now is between Harry Grindell and Jack Painter with a 9.05 and a 9.32 respectively.
Very close battles all across the track with 1 minute remaining before the race gets on its way. James Thurston, he's brand new to the Short Track Showdown. Rookie last season in the OSRL Premier Series, looking to show his stuff once again, prove what he's got under the hood. Looks like right now he's doing real good here. He's got himself an edge by just over a tenth of a second. It's going to take a lot for Tryphon Davis, who was the former OSRL Formula V champion, to catch right back up to him. That's some ancient history, but James Thurston looking to turn anew and find himself as a winner tonight. 30 seconds remaining. The chance someone beats him right now, very slim, and qualifying's almost over.
Yeah, right, you are qualifying being almost over. James Thurston still leads with a 21.780, close in behind Tryphon Davis with an 8.94. All these drivers are trying to get close in with the time. With 15 seconds left, I think we have our grid set for tonight's appetizer, you could say, before the main.
And you're right about that. Appetizer, this is a 30-minute timed race. Our main event going to be 150 laps on the dot, and that's going to be with the late model stock machines. This is the only appearance of the Formula Vs on the calendar. They get to start us off in grand fashion. Practice, qualifying, both are over. Now it's time to show you your starting grid for tonight's event. We're going to drop the ticker and get you the grid as the Music City 150 gets ready to rumble. And on the inside of row number 1, we've got Tryphon Davis, who looks to have taken it by just a nose there in qualifying, barely getting it ahead of James Thurston. Cole Fralick going to be in third with Adam Sweet in fourth. Position number 5 going to be Rudy Valentine with Rotor Page in 6th and Wesley Person in 7th. CJ Nemec's going to be position number 8 and Spencer Ray will be 9th. Rounding out your top 10, Short Track Showdown league owner Jack Painter.
And then for the back row of the grid, we got Nathan Kiani alongside Harry Grindell, both part of the Commonwealth, a very interesting fact. Then Vincent Goichi and Jack Lauer, 13th and 14th. Josh Stoltz and Mo Perry line up 15th and 16th. Alongside them, behind them, Sirius Gringe and Marty Farrell, then Griffin Jones and Scott Roush.
And to round out the field with their 21st driver, that will be Corey Vervinicht, the 21st driver, and the last of which will be that number 12 as the Formula Vs get on their way to begin racing here in Nashville. 30 minutes, only going to be a timed race, so these drivers have all the time they need to get up to the front of the field. Break smoke already, guys locking up, looking to warm up their stuff. It's going to be a timed event. The time will be on your screen in just a moment as the Music City 150 gets on its way. Now, it's pace cars on the track, leading these guys. One more lap of pacing before the racing gets on its way. Alex, any predictions before the race gets going?
Well, any predictions before the race gets going? We're going to have a lot of amazing racing. We're going to have a lot of big pack racing with these small Formula V cars. They don't go as fast as you thought they might, so you're going to get a lot of tight tight-knit group racing between all of these guys. This is going to be a fantastic race, but one thing that these cars have, the late model stocks don't, is open fenders. We could have a terrible track blocker if someone gets with the right front and no one else.
And that's right to mention, these things drive much different. They can get loose, they can go slipping and sliding, and it could be the end as we come to the start of the OSRL Short Track Showdown season. 30 minutes with the Formula Vs. Now as we get ready to rumble side by side, it's 3 wide going into 1 and 2.
Cole Freilich takes the lead over Rudy Valentine and Tryphon Davis. James Thurston sliding in behind. This is going to be a great battle here. Already 3 wide, 3 abreast, 3 back. This is going to be a tight one as Cole Freilich tries to control the pack, and James Thurston goes for a spin, and there's a track blocker in the back half of the field.
And James Thurston involved with the first wreck. He gets hit even more. And just as we mentioned, open fenders, they get used. And we got a fender bender of sorts. The number 62 of James Thurston goes around. And that's going to bring out your first yellow flag. Instant replay on the matter. Going to show you. It looks like we're still with him right now. But we'll get up to the moment of impact. 29 minutes and 6 seconds on the clock. Number 62 goes for a hard hit to begin this.
Yeah, right you are, David. Already within just 2 minutes of the race being open, we have a track blocker. Here's an instant replay of what happened. Like I mentioned earlier, these open fenders, we're just waiting for contact, and I don't even think that's James Thurston's fault. He just got the brunt force of it. He was squeezing down 3 wide, and that's okay, but all depends on if the guy on the bottom can actually hold it down 3 wide, and that's a perfect example of what not to do as being the car on the bottom.
And just like that, one driver in the air somersaults over and over. That's a nasty hit. James Thurston continues to get it piled into. It is a smoke show to begin this night. And just like that, the yellow flag's out. And it looks like one more view of that wreck. Number 62 almost had most of it collected. Then goes back to the inside wall, collects a few more drivers on the way. And that's what brings out the yellow flag for the first time. We'll bring it back to our live footage, and Thurston right now looking to collect his spots once again.
Thurston probably got to get his lap back after sitting in pit road and repairing his car. Cole Freilich still leads over Rudy Valentine at the head of the field. There's Tryphon Davis, Adam Sweet, Wesley Person, CJ Nimitz, River Page, Vincent Goetze, Sirius Grinch, and Griffin Jones to round out the top 10. As we're going to get started again, we've got 27:35 on the clock. Pace car is in, and we're about to go green. Cole Freilich takes the green flag.
Really going to lead him in that time by. Got a good edge over Rudy Valentine, and it looks like now the 3 wide just behind. That's a battle for 5th involving guys like River Page, and as they come through, they're now going to be able to thin out just a bit more. Big block, it's Freilich in the wall, another disaster.
Freilich in the wall hard. That's a hard lick entering turn 3, and half the field is collected again.
Cole Freilich involved with a second yellow flag, 27 minutes on the board, and another wreck gonna send us to the yellow flag once again. Looking at the chopper cam right now, we'll get a look at it with the TV angles and keep it from there in just a moment. As you can see, the eye in the sky, nasty hits, multiple drivers go up and over, and another somersault style flip as Cole Freilich for the front of the field might have made contact with Rudy Valentine there, and I think that's what sent them around.
Yeah, right you are. It looks like Rudy Valentine just barely tipped the rear-ended point of Cole Freilich, which caused a train wreck. The entire field dies again.
And Valentine down to pit road, that time by the 78 machine going to stay there. Pit road occupied once more. And for Rudy Valentine, not a good way to get this one started. On our end, he is still off of the track. And alongside him, Griffin Jones, Spencer Ray, and Wesley Person off the track. Wesley being 2 laps down as it stands, and we're going to keep it going. Still got just about 27 odd minutes remaining on the board. Time going to be back on your screen as another driver putters to a halt, and it looks like they will stay there. Got one driver stalled as is.
Yeah, that seems to be Adam Sweet rolling around on the high side. I would assume going to catch the pace car. Yes, he does. It looks like the field gets lined up again, but after another insane wreck just very early in the race, Adam Sweet Currently, your race leader over Vincent Guenci, Sirius Garinge, CJ Nemitz, Jack Lauer, Jack Painter, Josh Stoltz, River Page, Marty Farrell, and Cole Freilich to round out the top 10.
Most of your field is still with us. However, another nasty incident going to bring us back to the yellow for the second time tonight in the preliminary race here for the night of the Music City 150. 8 laps in and of a theoretical over 21 million. The time will be back on your screen in just a moment, though. There's only just about 26 minutes remaining, and your leading driver, Vincent Guecci, now ahead of Circus Garinge, my apologies. It might be a circus we've seen so far on the racing circuit so far. I'll tell you this much, Vincent Guecci, he's been able to make it through the wrecks. That's what matters so far.
You're absolutely right about that, David, as we line up 2x2, getting ready to go green once again. He's avoided almost all of the wrecks here tonight after 2 insane track blockers early in this race. Damage is off, forgot to mention that in the early race, so everyone is free to race again, even after horrendous wrecks like we've just seen. But the field takes the green flag. Vincent Guecci leads with 24 minutes remaining.
And it's clean all ahead, and the yellow flag comes out once more. Huge hit. It's going to get much worse. Back of the field. Take a look at guys like Mo Perry. Another yellow flag. Perry looks to be in the wall. There's Cole Freilich too. And the caution is out once again. And they're spinning even still. That looks to be River Page. As I saw, it looks like the number 24 goes. That's going to be Marty Farrell as well. Another huge hit. The caution comes out for the third time in succession. We have not seen a green flag lap so far, and Freilich got destroyed. And that's what brings it out.
Yeah, another terrible wreck early on in this race. Half this race might be just wrecking, but you're getting a good taste of what short track racing really is. Cole Freilich going for a wild ride up in the air.
And Marty Farrell, too, going to be involved in that one. Farrell tries to lock it down, then goes down to the apron and just can't keep it together. And as we see, once again, taking a look, looks to be the live feed here, and they're having even still, I can't tell what's going on. So now they're getting the pace car to go.
So they're all waiting for the pace car right there, and now they're getting lined up once again. I imagine that whoever is admitting this, probably Oates, is not happy with all the wrecking, but will perhaps be a quickie yellow, and once the pace truck crosses the line, looks like the lights are still on. But I imagine that we're gonna go 1 to green here. If I was an admin, I'd make it that, and yes, we are. Pace lights off in the pace truck, and we're gonna get ready to send to green once again.
And the green flag will go once more. Looking at a slow-mo shot of the live feed here, waiting for things to go at it. Live feed going to be shown in full speed in just a moment. 22 minutes and 25 seconds remaining on the board. And as we go through this time by, the racers should be able to get back to their work, and hopefully we'll see some green flag racing, the likes of which we have not yet seen all race. And as we come back to the green flag, this time by, we look to have some trouble looking at it as the drivers get on their way. Vincent Guecci leads them through once again. Not too far behind is Jack Lauer, and it looks like this time by, we've got ourselves going green. As you can see, 21 minutes, 46 seconds remaining, coming down to the backstretch. This time by, the Formula Vs actually get to go racing. Double file 2 rows deep. The live feed's gonna show you now they're full on racing.
Back to the live feed once again. A lot of smoke. We got a car around. Not going to be a yellow. And it comes to the track. And there's going to be a yellow for sure. James Thurston goes for a spin. We've got 2 flips in the back. Rudy Valentine hard in the outside wall. 2 cars upside down. Another one flipping in turn 3. And it's another track blocker with 21 minutes left on the clock.
Another huge wreck. 9 minutes in, I don't think we've seen more than 1 lap of green flag racing. It's been not good at all when it comes to that consistent racing aspect. These Formula Vs have been thrown around the track endlessly. James Thurston involved in this wreck, and he's coming around once again. Hopefully we'll have an instant replay prepared for you in just a moment. The number 62 back on the way. You can see track blocker got these guys up and over, and drivers went from there on out nuts. From there you can see guys smoke show away, drifting out. One driver was upside down, and I think that was Harry Grindell. Grindell is now on pit road as guys inch away from the scene. Nasty wreck once again, and it brings us back to the caution.
back under yellow flag conditions again. We're going to get an FTN instant replay, and River Page gets clipped in the back, and this is what happened further forward after he got going again. Pack 3 wide into turn 1 at Nashville Fairgrounds, and James Thurston looks to go for the middle. There was a quick spin. James Thurston, I think that's netcode, and then as an innocent bystander, he gets spun by the right rear, and 2 flips in the back, and that's what? The 8th flip we've had this race?
I think it would be. We've seen quite a lot already, and just like that, we add another one to the tally. 19 minutes and 54 seconds remain, counting down even still. We've not yet seen a green flag lap of racing. It has been tough out here. As we look in the eye in the sky once again, we'll get the TV cameras back, and here they are, double file, this time by, and they're waiting to get back at it once again. Maybe now we see them get into a longer groove. It still seems to be an unanswered question, with Vincent Guecci and Cole Fralick your first row, Jack Lauer's third, and Josh Stoltz is currently fourth.
Right we are, as Vincent Guecci again leads the field to green. We're going to get ready with 19:15 left on the clock. And it almost seemed like they were going to wreck again. Still hard racing, 3-4 wide in the back of the pack. Vincent Guecci is going to lead the field out to the back straightaway. We've got 3-4 wide racing in the back, and somehow they haven't wrecked yet. This could be the lap we go green. Entering turn 3, the pack still all together. No one has wrecked, no one has spun, and it looks like we're going to do it. And just as I was going to say it, we don't complete one completely green.
Looks like Josh Stoltz got turned there in the Papaya McLaren machine. We got a yellow flag avoided. They'll stay racing. One driver going to be all the way reverse in the wall, and they'll stay at it. Side by side, Fralick down low for the race lead. He's got Vincent Guecci right up there with them. Make it 3 abreast that time by. Now it's going to be Cole Fralick with Jack Lauer splitting the number 09. Vincent Guecci's barely ahead, but he does not have that bottom line concealed. Now down low, it's going to be Guecci trying to defend the lower line. He's going to be able to keep it there, and he has now Cyrus Gerange going right there with them. Scott Roush is in the line as well, the preferred line, the inside groove, as they come down with 18 minutes remaining. The lead battle is now intense, and I think they have taken away the care and the caution. Will stay green for the foreseeable future.
Currently still staying green with 4 wide, 4 abreast going down into turn 3. Vincent Guecci still leads over Cole Fralick, Cyrus Gerange, Jack Lauer, and Rudy Valentine, as we've got a wreck in the back, and we've got another flip, and this time we're going to still stay green. Adman's deciding not to throw the yellow. We've got about a 10-car race for the lead right now. Vincent Guecci still leads as they come off turn number 2. Cole Fralick now fighting for the lead with Jack Lauer and Jack Painter. We're going to be 3 wide, 4 wide entering turn 3. Now coming off of turn 4, Vincent Guecci, give it to him. No, give it to Cole Fralick, who steals the lead going down the front stretch with 17 minutes left on the clock.
4 wide door banging, we just saw it there. It's fender benders, except there are open fenders. They're touching directly with the wheel wells. High risk, high action racing. Vincent Guecci hanging on very well with that race lead. It's been fantastic to see him work the bottom groove. Looks like he's got a fair understanding of what he's got to do, and now that the pack is thinning out, the best of the best remain. Rudy Valentine laying back right now in his McLaren machine, but it looks like Mo Perry now going to get filed out in his number 54. Jack Lauer going to be up high. Looks like 3 wide. It's going to be taking him Jack Painter. Cole Fralick sees a lap machine, and now we have some trouble. They'll have to make it by this lapper to keep the pack peaceful. That's going to be that time by. Josh Stoltz put 1 lap down. No, it's going to be River Page 2, and as they come around, 16 minutes and 25 remaining, the leaders stay at it. Vincent Guecci with his inside line has not given up the lead in over 2 minutes.
Right you are. 2 minutes on the clock, still in the lead. Got a lot of hard-fought racing here as the fastest lap. Give it to Mo Perry with a 21.969. We've got amazing racing in the front as Jack Lauer, Cole Fralick, and Vincent Guecci, as long as Jack Painter try and go 4 wide for the race lead.
89 machine of Cyrus Gerange dives down low, tries to make something work. Now Guecci's going to be forced up high. They're side by side once again. Give it now, this time to Jack Lauer. He's got himself the lead. Guecci gets filed out. That's going to be a big time loss in position. Up and down they go. This time by, there's a new man on the rise. It's going to be Jack. It's going to be Mo Perry now in the second spot. It's going to be the Perry machine up high. Fralick remains down low as they come through once again. Make it 15 17:25 on the board. Lauer's got the lead, and now outside the top 3 is Cole Fralick. He'll have to battle with Jack Painter to remain inside the top 5.
Mo Perry, Jack Lauer, Sirius Garinge now fighting for the race lead. Here they all go, too wide again. In the back of the pack, and we've got a wheel hop, and someone's flipping in the... Oh, my God. They're already crashing again off of turn 4, but still, the Abbins leave it to no more yellows. Right now, we're still green with a 5-car pack, and they somehow might manage to wreck still. Cole Fralick, Sirius Garinge, Mo Perry, Jack Lauer, and Rudy Valentine, the ones fighting it out for the lead.
Unbelievable. The drivers are now going to be racing even if the pack gets even smaller. It's now no care to a wreck. We stay green no matter what. Fralick going to be dropping down low. 15 Machines got the lead. Sirius Garinge now getting in third. We lost guys such as Vincent Quecci in that incident. It's a 5-car bundle going back to Rudy Valentine. Valentine, the only driver who doesn't take it 4 wide through turn 3. Now, big drive down for Mo Perry. Perry's got himself position number 4. He'll drop down low to make a 4-for-1 pass. Mo Perry from 4th to the race lead.
An insane pass. He's already getting fought back again for the lead. It looks like it's going to be Cole Fralick now going for the top spot, and he makes the move entering turn number 3. Now he leads the field off of 4, but it's not going to last very long. The switch up from Mo Perry to go underneath and get in front of Cole Fralick. Now it's going to go 3 wide entering turn number 1.
It's almost like a super speedway. The way these guys are going for the draft in a super speedway like Daytona or Talladega, they're going for the inside line to get the immediate pass. It's like it's automatic when you go down low. Then we beg the question, how feisty will these drivers get on the last lap to drop down low? That might be the race decider. The high side, too much distance covered. The middle, it looks like the groove is not currently developed enough to manage going on the second lane. So the low line is the place to be right now, and it looks like the place to be is occupied by Jack Lauer. Mo Perry spins! Unbelievable! Rudy's gonna be in the wall, and it looks like no yellow flag nonetheless. Huge hit for the Valentine machine. It's a 2-car battle. I think we should take a look at the 78.
Right you are, and Rudy Valentine goes for quite a wild wreck, and to get our heads around, well, you know, what's going on, let's have a chat with Jack Painter. Jack Painter, you joined us here in the FTN booth. A lot of wrecks, but no yellows. Can you explain that, or?
Yeah, so for the moment, we're just kind of riding around. We will have a fun flag in about 40 seconds here, and then we'll throw the caution, let everybody get the laps back, who is a lap down, kind of bunch of go back up, and then get going to green with however many minutes there will be left.
So you were fighting for the lead for a lot of these, and you were pretty much up there most of the time. As being one of the Abbins in here, we saw a bunch of track blockers early on. So is that just people getting used to the V racing at a short track?
I think so. I mean, a lot of it's, I mean, this is just kind of a fun race, so people aren't taking it too seriously. So I think it is that, and also just kind of people trying to figure things out here because we didn't get too much practice. But yeah, I think hopefully with this last fun flag here, it'll be a bit better. And there's a fun flag right there.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Jack Painter. We'll let you get back to adminning in the chat. Anything else you'd like to say while you got us in the booth?
No, just, I guess, enjoy the rest of the evening.
That was the voice of Jack Painter, the number 97 on the track. Currently the admin and session host for tonight's events. And going to throw a fun flag here now with 11:35 left on the clock. Sirius Garinge now looking at him as he goes to get behind the pace car. Interesting battles we've had all night for the lead, but a lot of wrecks, and that's been the main story. If you avoid the wrecks, you can get to the race lead. Super Speedway-esque racing between the V's here at Nashville Fairgrounds. This is going to be a great rest of the race. We should go green. It's about 9 minutes remaining.
So now we're getting these guys back on the lead lap. One of the guys who's going to get his laps back is Nathan Chiani. The Canadian right now finds himself in the 19th place. How's about we get a word from the man in that number 17? Dragging him in right now, Nathan Chiani, 10 minutes on the board. How do you feel in your Formula V?
What was that?
How do you feel about the race so far? Halfway down,
okay.
even more than that.
I had no idea you even dragged me in here. The race is going good. Shelton Hodge showed Formula V's getting a workout. I've been wrecked several times. I've had a car on top of me. I've been flipped. I literally went out of the ballpark earlier. But we're getting our laps back here. We got a good shot to win it. We just gotta hang on here and see what happens.
Looks like no damage on for this race. It's been quite action-packed to say the least. So what's the game plan from here on out to cut through the field and maybe make some time up?
Survive, essentially, because they're going to wreck, and I want to get through the wreck, and I don't want to be in it, essentially. So, yeah, that's the plan right now. I got to thank NOS Energy Drink, all those guys for coming on board and are amped up, ready to go.
And there we have it. All ready to get this one back on the way. 10 minutes left. Not a lot of time. Any final thoughts before the race gets back?
Don't die, because they're gonna die again. They're definitely gonna die again, I think, on this restart. So just gotta survive here.
And there we have it. That's Nathan Kiani looking to survive to get up in front here in the Formula V's. We got to thank him for his time as we drag him back in. 9 minutes and 43 remaining. Alex, I think your prediction was on the money.
I do. I think my prediction was on the money, right? Indeed, might be a few seconds off, but it doesn't matter. We're going to get back to racing. It's going to be a great, great time. Scan that QR code for all Fireball Talks NASCAR related content. Make sure to scan the QR code and join the official Discord for race information and access to interviews and in-house productions.
And absolutely, we'd love to have you there. And of course, if you're watching on FTN, this was our schedule for the week. It'll be mostly the same next week. SRL joined us on Monday for the very first time in FTN history. The Octane Series returned after a break in late May. FORL Cup Series, they'll be back as well. And I believe they'll be going to Gateway next week after a fun race of the Magic Mile. And Road to Pro broke some FTN records last night. It was fantastic. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with another great show with the best drivers in NASCAR. Back on the way, though. 8 minutes and 45 seconds remain. Thank you all for tuning in so far. We've had a great race here in the Formula V's. I'm David Kreutz alongside Alexander Balderas with Cody Demers behind the board as our producer for tonight's event. Now, with that in mind, 8 minutes remaining. Time is of the essence. How aggressive will these guys get?
Well, with time starting to be of the essence and time counting down as the field gets ready to go green here once again. This is the first time we've had a full pack in about 10 minutes, so these guys not comfortable, not close racing with each other as we get ready to go green here once again. And they just saved it from wrecking off the start immediately. We've got cars wheel hopping each other off the back, but miraculously this field actually did not wreck off the start, and we've got Rudy Valentine up and over. Never mind, we've got two cars almost flipping in the back. Rudy Valentine goes for a spin again. 756, and the Admins have not thrown it again. We've still got an amazing battle for the lead. It turns out it's going to be a battle for the lead between Sirius Grinch, Tryphon Davis, Mo Perry, and Jack Lauer. Multiple cars spun around in the back. We stay green. And it looks like these guys are still going to battle it out. Slow cars up ahead. That's Cole Freilich, who used to be the one-time race leader with Vincent Guarecci earlier in this race. Mo Perry seems to split the middle. Sirius Grinch and Jack Lauer now fight for all the positions left on the racetrack. 7:25 is across the line.
At this rate, they gave him the fun flag. That's your last warning. If you wreck from here on out, it is on you. That's the mentality. It looks to be ran by the Admins as we come around once again. Side by side, they're multiple rows deep indeed. Sirius Grinch, Mo Perry. Now we got Jack Lauer going through, and Lauer now going on the inside line, slipping from fifth on the board all the way up to second. Mo Perry goes for a little of a wild ride, and he collects it before we collect our speech. Unbelievable job for him to keep it racing. Most of the drivers will turn that into a spin. Lauer's got the inside line. He knows that's where you want to be, and he's up to the first spot on the board with 6 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Even more drivers go around. At this rate, they're dropping off like flies, but the race is not over. The lead pack flies away.
Currently, the FTN mover of the race, Sirius Grinch, to gain 16 spots from where he started on the grid, is now going to lead with Jack Lauer and Marty Farrell trying to take the lead away, and it's not going to be it. Looks like Jack Lauer now trying to go to that low side to take the lead away from Sirius Grinch. Give it to Grinch at the line. Jack Lauer now falls back to third, fighting for second. Marty Farrell tries to make the move 3 wide, and it doesn't look like it's going to work.
Double file right now up ahead. That's the most they can sustain for the lead. Rest of the field, it is all warfare. Nothing off limits. Up high, Mo Perry is going to be, he's got one right down low. That looks to be Jack Painter with Marty Farrell still in this one. 5 minutes remaining. The times ran out. We've seen almost 25 full minutes of action, and now with so little time remaining, Jack Lauer's just got to wonder, how can you hold on with Mo Perry saving it? It looks like Wesley Person will not as well. Huge hit for the 7. Nobody else involved. Rest of the field remains calm and steady. Lauer leads, Painter second, and Jack Painter now looking to go for the win in his own series.
Right you are, Jack Lauer now points his nose up to the lead, gonna almost try and make a pass around Jack Painter, the man we spoke to earlier. Sirius Garinge now trying to fight for his lead back once again, but it's gonna be Jack Painter over Jack Lauer, Sirius Garinge, Marty Farrell, and Adam Sweet, all fighting for that race lead, and it's gonna be Jack Painter at the line.
Jack Painter now looking to get it done in his own series and looking real good while he's at it. And right now, 97 Machine having a chance to take it home has to wonder, how can I drop down to that bottom line and be where all the best drivers have been? Bottom feeding. Jack Lauer seems to be the best at it, but another driver goes around, and it's one in the air, somersaulting, not able to land, and another set of drivers go around while the leading battle continues. Looks to be Triffin Davis involved with that one, Marty Farrell dropping down the board, and another huge hit, but the leaders stay up in front, not caring.
This has been quite the exciting race as we cross the line with 4:24 left on the clock. Now coming down to the final moments of this race. A car upside down in turn number 1. But it's going to be Jack Painter and Sirius Garinge fighting it out for the race lead. Have broken away from the main pack as we head down the back.
It's a two-driver dogfight up ahead. Lauer down low, Jack Painter up high. Then it's going to be third with CJ Nemitz and Mo Perry right there with. Top two drivers remain the big focus right now. And that number 59 Machine, impeccable strategies. They come across the beached driver. That looked to be someone like James Thurston. I'm not quite sure who in specific that was, as Lauer goes down, and the race favorite finds himself in the wall. Now Jack Painter tries to come home free. Mo Perry gonna try to chase him back and make it all too easy for himself and not the 97.
Awesome battle for the lead between Jack Painter and Mo Perry in the 41 down low. It's going to be two wide, two file racing. Jack Painter on that top side. He has help, but is it going to be enough to overtake Mo Perry on the bottom? Doesn't look like it. Mo Perry now surges to the lead with 3 minutes left.
3 minutes remaining on the board, and the Music City 150, they patch by the beach driver of Wesley Person. Person is all out of sorts right now. Not quite sure what's going on there with his Formula V, but now they're going to go 4 wide for the lead. Look who's back, Vincent Guecci.
Vincent Guecci with a charge to the field to take back the lead. It's going to be a great one here in the last 2 minutes of this race. Mo Perry, Vincent Guecci, Jack Painter, Adam Sweet, your fast forward, the top of the board. And it looks like James Thurston has even come back in the fight in the Persistent Chrome V.
And just when we thought these drivers were down and out, they've made up their time making games and making them big. It's going to be all down to the wire with more than 5 drivers involved. I think it's almost a 10-car pack now coming down to the line. It's another side-by-side battle between Guecci and Mo Perry. Top 2 remain the same, and they're going to be 3 wide again. Guecci tries to hold it down. Jack Painter tries to go aggressive up high, side by side. Once again, Dalton Shupp and Bryce Hamrick in chat. We'd love to have you, Hamrick, racing with us next week, because this is surely a show you don't want to miss. The Formula Vs have 2 minutes left, and it's still Guecci and Mo Perry.
And an amazing save from Mo Perry on the bottom. He's going to get sent 3 wide. Vincent Guecci up on the top. Cuts down to the low line and makes sure that he maintains the lead. It's an incredible 4 wide race in the pack. They've gone all through this race wrecking, and it seems like now, in the time it matters, they still keep it alive. The field keeps going as James Thurston tries to make a cutback to the lead, but it's going to be Adam Sweet and Vincent Guecci fighting it out for the race lead with Spencer Ray and Mo Perry.
And Guecci drops down all the way, makes sure he's got himself in good position to take it down with 1:24 remaining. Side by side, they're going to take it 3 abreast once again. Mo Perry drops down low. Adam Sweet now finds himself in second. It's going to be all down to this. Jack Lauer's back with them. Looks like he recovered quickly, and he's going to now try to make it a late race charge. Going from the back of the field to the front. Can he do it? We'll see.
Now with just a minute left on the clock, gonna be an exciting last 4 laps in this race, and it looks like Vincent Guecci still your race leader over Jack Lauer, Mo Perry, Adam Sweet, and Spencer Ray. Gonna be, that is Cole Freilich, I think, who's trying to hold off the field, and he's gonna block Vincent Guecci, move him up to the top side lane. Now Mo Perry sends it 3 wide down below. They're gonna go 3 wide entering turn number 1 with Cole Freilich in the lead as a lap car trying to block the rest of the field. Mo Perry, Sirius Grinch, and Jack Lauer all fight for that top spot with just 20 seconds left. Vincent Guecci now trying to get back up there. Adam Sweet, Spencer Ray, and Mo Perry now fighting it out. Going to push him up the track, but it's not going to be enough. They almost wreck again, but Jack Lauer is able to hold on to the lead over Mo Perry, Vincent Guecci, and they wreck it. It's a terrible crash on one of the last laps of the race, and it's going to be Jack Painter over Griffin Jones, Spencer Ray, Vincent Guecci, and Mo Perry. They all destroy themselves, and it's going to be an insane battle for a checkered flag, and Jack Painter is going to win in his own series.
Jack Painter barely gets it done after a tremendous wreck at the line. Inexplicable, and the number 97 comes home victorious in the first race of the Short Track Showdown. My oh my, the number 97 gets it done. He's a winner in the first race tonight, and he's already burning it down. Jack Painter wins over Griffin Jones in second, with Spencer Ray third, Vincent Guecci fourth, and Mo Perry in fifth. It's Nathan Chiani sixth, with CJ Nemitz in seventh, and Jack Lauer eighth. Adam Sweet position number 9, and River Page comes home to round out the top 10.
Rounding out everywhere else on the back of the grid, Rudy Valentine, then Marty Farrell, Harry Grindell, Sirius Gringe, Cole Fralick, longtime leader, finishes 15th. James Thurston, Tryphon Davis, Josh Stoltz, Scott Roush, and Wesley Person to round out the top 20, 13 laps down.
And of course, as you mentioned before, he rounded out the grid. He rounds out the field 21st, Corey Vervinick, and he is the final man on that board. How about Jack Painter? I tell you what, before we switch sessions, let's get an instant replay on what just happened. The number 97 comes home victorious in the first race of tonight. Fantastic finish. He's able to get it done just barely. This is when the white flag fell, and you can see the field coming through. The checkered flag is out, and Painter barely gets it done in a drag race to the line. Now, how about we get an interview with your winning driver as he barrel rolls after the stripe. Jack Painter, the number 97, wins in his own series. How do you feel coming home victorious from the Nashville Fairgrounds?
That was a bit too chaotic, bit more chaotic than I hoped it would have been, but I still had fun. So that should be the most chaotic support race of like any of them. But I mean, that was super fun. When we were green, the racing was awesome. I just wish we kind of got more of it. I probably should have thrown some cautions for some of the stuff that was going on, but I kind of just wanted to get it over with. But I mean, it's still fun. I had a great time. Wesley Pearson kind of came up with this idea. I forgot when, but this is kind of his brainchild. This combo. So I enjoyed it. Maybe we can do it again at some point, but I had fun.
And it looked like a lot of fun in that final stretch. Side by side, it was 3-4 wide for the lead, and that big wreck that parted the seas got you a chance to go for the checkered. How was it navigating through that and avoiding it, and eventually coming home on top?
Yeah, I figured like they were gonna junk it at some point, and I honestly had no idea like when I got past the wreck that I was in the lead until like the backstretch. And Griffin didn't even know. Like Griffin didn't even know he was second. He didn't even know like this was the battle for the win. So that's why he just like went super high there in 3 and 4. So I think it just kind of took all of us by surprise because we had no idea who the leader was or what was going on any at that point. So I mean, it was a little chaotic there at the end, but I mean, I guess yeah, the seas parted, just perfect storm there. So yeah, again, that was just. I figured it would come down to that, and I'm just glad I wasn't. I was behind it far enough so to get by it.
And it looks like it all worked out at the end of the day. First race in the books, late model stock coming up next. What's it going to take to see maybe some more success out of you and eventually see more out of the whole field as we get our first main feature of the season?
I think it's really gonna come down to tire strategy, or tire conservation because there's only one extra set of tires and only one guaranteed caution at halfway. So it's really gonna come down to tire strategy or tire conservation because it's very easy to go really, really hard at this track in this car. It will grip if you go really hard, but you can't go really hard. So you have to be a little bit conservative. So it's really going to come down to whoever either pits at the right time, like maybe doesn't pit at the halfway caution, but then they catch a caution like later on and they can put the new tires on then, or they can just conserve their tires from the halfway caution onward. It's going to come down to that. So hopefully, I'm not the best at tire conservation, but maybe catch a break somewhere somehow and hopefully get the sweep.
Right, you are, Jack Painter. You end up in the lead and winning your own race for the first race, the opener. One of the most exciting support races we've ever seen. Thank you so much for your time. And overall, you said the racing was great. Is that what we should expect for the main?
I would think so. I mean, it's definitely a different style of racing. It's going to be a lot, obviously not super speedway, a lot less chaotic than what we just saw there. But it should still be really, really good. Nashville's a great track. These late model stock cars work really, really well on it. So it should be some really good, just classic short track racing. So hopefully put on a good show.
Well, thank you so much, Jack Painter, for your time. We'll put you back in there. But thank you for joining us here tonight, and hopefully all goes well for you in the next race.
Yep, thank y'all. Absolutely.
And to get one more before we move over, Griffin Jones, you are our FTN mover of the race. You finished second, 17 spots higher than where you qualified, the highest anyone by a fair margin. Tell us how the race went.
That was really nuts. You know, I mean, it's a Formula V race on an oval. It was going to be kind of stupid. I made a mistake because I didn't realize that Jack was the leader. I thought it was Cole Freilich up ahead. So I was like, okay, I'll just take my third and get out of this. And I didn't really try to make a proper move on him.
Yeah, that's what Jack said too. Cole kind of confused. I kind of confused me too in the booth because I didn't know where Cole came from, but I didn't see him.
I saw the relative and I saw lap cars ahead. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this is for like third. And I didn't. So, oops.
So you kind of choked, is what you're saying.
Yes, I choked.
Yeah,
I choked. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
Shades of Mark Martin pitting on the white flag.
That's exactly what happened. It was I'm not usually in a position to ever win races, so my mind wasn't even thinking about it.
But you come home with an amazing P2 for your 53 camp. Tell us how excited you are for the next race.
Well, you know, I'm really looking forward to it. This was fun. It was fun to just do a weird, chaotic race like that. And you know, I've never actually driven the late model before, and I'm not much of a short track guy, so kind of low expectations. But I think it'll be a fun night. I think.
Right, you are, and well, congratulations on getting second and being FTN mover of the race. Anything else you'd like to say before we round it off?
No, not really.
I
hope it was fun to watch.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, and thank you for your time, and congratulations on P2.
Thank you very much.
David, back to you.
And absolutely great to see all our guys race this one before the main event. Biggest mover, Griffin Jones. Race winner, Jack Painter. We'll be right back after a brief break live on FTN. We'll take it to our promotional break and have an iRacing message right up on the screen. Thank y'all for watching so far. We'll return in just a moment as we join into our main session for tonight's race. Main race starts at 8:15 Eastern. Stick with us here on FTN and we'll bring you all the action live in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. This has been the publication of the redesign and rebranding of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.
After a fantastic preliminary event with the Formula V's, Nashville Night on FTN is back in action, and right now the late model stock cars are taking their first practice laps of the season. We've got over 20 drivers registered and 19 have taken times on the circuit. Great to be back, and if you are joining us for the first time, I'm hosting your broadcast alongside Alexander Balderas. I'm David Kreutz. Our producer Cody Demers is with us for the first time on FTN, with OSRL at the very least, and it's a three-man grouping, and I'll tell you this much, we all had fun watching that last race. Even our producer telling us it was one very entertaining to watch. So Alex, how do you feel after this one? You think there's anything that will set the stage for our big race tonight?
Well, Jack Painter coming off a great preliminary win in the Formula V is still kind of excited from how that race ended. And a lot of exciting stuff happened. You know what? I haven't heard too much beef between the drivers there. Nathan Chiani being focused on the number 17. This is going to be a fantastic race. It's not going to be super speedway-esque at all, but Nashville Fairgrounds being an awesome short track in an awesome short track car. This is going to be one to remember.
Absolutely a memorable sort of series we've done here on OSRL for the past 2 summers. 2022, the first short track showdown on FTN, and tonight, with 9 minutes remaining in practice, we return to the mains with the late models, and iRacing, in the year that we've been gone, has introduced a brand new late model stock package inspired by more modern late models, such as the ones ran by Cup drivers like Dale Jr., Kevin Harvick, and all those who come down to the short track scene on Friday nights to make it before they go big time in the Cup Series. Fun fact about the late models before then, the scan that was taken to iRacing that's been used, or was used all the way up till this year, was a 2004 Chevy Monte Carlo driven in the short track scene for real. That is a real car. I've got to get the image. Next week, I'm telling you this much, we'll have that picture up on the broadcast, because in 2006, before iRacing went public, they shared all this information on their website, which can still be accessed on the Internet Archive. That is a piece of racing history, and now we're writing our new chapter here tonight. Harry Grindell, one of the drivers you see, and I'll tell you this much, Grindell, now that Braden Movick does not appear to be racing after retiring from full-time competition, he might be one of the guys to watch out for as more load in.
You're absolutely right about that, and let's have a conversation with a couple of these guys. For Paige, you join us here in the FTN booth. About 8 minutes left, and I believe practice. What are you feeling for tonight's race? Tonight's main.
Oh man, I'm super pumped up for this event. I feel like I got a lot of pace in my Blackwood Homes Ford Mustang here. The race before this was very exhilarating, and I feel like I've got myself very prepared for this racetrack. I'm very confident in my abilities to go fast. So yeah.
Well, confidence is key in one of the new cars on iRacing just introduced just a few months ago, the late model stock, replacing the old late model, which had been used for years on the iRacing service, as Davis was mentioning. I think this is only your first few times driving in this car, at least in the OSRL sense. how are you feeling for your pace overall this race as you sit 6th right now? 57 hundredths off at the top time.
I think my pace is going to be pretty good. We got a very competitive field here. It's normally I'm not able to have my winning ways in the Cup Series here in the OSRL. So I think I'm confident in a top 10 run, but I don't think I'm going to win. I'm just going to hope I can improve my time just a little bit, maybe get up, maybe get into like 4th or 3rd. So you know, I can just hang around up there, maybe get a podium. You know, who knows?
Right, you are. And before we pass it off to somebody else to get us through this, anything else you'd like to say?
Man, I just want to thank you guys for broadcasting. Fireball Talks NASCAR is one of my favorite YouTube channels. I didn't know what the ARCA series was before I found this channel, and now I do. And the streams are great. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to move you back in there with those guys. Hope your race goes well.
Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you this much, as we get things started, we're going to send it back to our iRacing promotional break for just a moment. Make sure the viewing quality is as high as it can possibly be. 5 minutes remaining in practice. We'll be back in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And as we return live on FTN, 4 minutes on the board right now as practice continues here in the Music City 150. I'm David Kreutz, once again joined by Alexander Balderas with Cody Dammers pushing the buttons behind the screen. We've returned after just a brief break to make sure everything's all right for the main event, and I'll tell you this much, 26 drivers have registered, going back to Adam Sweet and Michael Cormetis, who have not taken times so far. It's Wesley Parker and Rudy Valentine first and second on the board right now, with James Thurston third, and it looks like your podium guys are only separated by 3/100ths of a second. Very close timing between all of those guys, and right now, how's about we get a word from one of which in James Thurston as we drag him down to the FTN live booth. James Thurston at number 62 here for the first time in the Short Track Showdown, a rookie here after a fantastic rookie campaign in the Premier Series. How do you feel heading down to Music City to put on a show?
I'm excited. I think that this combo is going to be a lot of fun to race.
That is great to hear. The number 62 machine, we saw you in the Formula V race. How do you think this one's going to be in comparison, of course, to a very chaotic night opener here in Nashville?
I hope it's night and day, because that V race was it's a thing that happened. But yeah, I'm excited for this. Hopefully we can have some really good racing and I don't get killed multiple times.
And hopefully a wreck avoidance you can do this time. Bigger machines, but they do handle a little easier to my understanding. These late model stock cars, different from the old iRacing handling formula from last season. How do you think that's going to be with a whole different mechanic of driving around the same track?
I mean, these cars are different from the super late model. They're more, I don't even know what you'd say. Like, they're less powerful, but I think they're a little bit more realistic. But yeah, they're from a different series too. I think that it'll be fun. They have the new damage model, so they won't be climbing the walls when they hit stuff. And yeah, it should be fun to watch.
All right, you are James Thurston now. We've got a couple cars getting ready to go on track. How's about your shot and your chances to win here tonight?
Hopefully they're good. I've run a ton of laps here at this track with other cars, but never with this one. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, surely you can take your experience from other cars and apply it, because this is one of the most brand new cars on iRacing, just getting an update from a 14-year-old Scan. Now, being a slightly different car from a slightly different series, but essentially the same thing. How are your thoughts on how this racing is going to be?
I don't know. In practice, we saw, or at least I saw, it was really hard to break away from side by side. So if you get next to somebody, especially on the high side, it could be very hard to get by without someone having to back out, and that could become pretty irritating, especially if it ends up running, the car on the outside of the wall, or if the guy in the bottom washes up. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully have some long runs, because long runs in this car are really where it shines, and if we get a bunch of cautions and short runs, it's going to be just a bunch of chaos.
Well, we saw a bunch of chaos last race in the preliminary race. We saw a lot of flips. We saw a lot of crashes. You involved in one of them, a couple as an innocent bystander in that. So do you think, what are your predictions for when the first wreck is going to be here tonight?
I don't know. Probably lap 1. Probably in the back. Hopefully they won't throw a caution for it. But, yeah, we'll just hopefully have some good racing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here in the FTN booth. Anything else you'd like to say out there?
Thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports, we have this cool Kevin Harvick car. I didn't make it, but somebody else did on Trading Paint, so thanks to them. I don't know who they were that made it, but very cool car, and yeah, let's go racing.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and we're going to drag you back. Hope all goes well.
Thank you.
That was the voice of the driver, the number 62, James Thurston. Quite high I rating. He is one of my picks to win this race. Very, very smart, very skillful driver. Hopefully all ends up and on top for him.
And James Thurston, as it stands, scored third on the board. But as we come around to conclude practice, Wesley Parker is your fastest driver on the board. Qualifying coming right up next as practice has concluded, and now we'll see the drivers despawn from the track and begin their chase for the coveted pole position. The checkered flag is waved, and now the drivers disappear from the track. 2 laps, 5 minutes, and it's going to be time to see who's got what it takes to be the hot lap heroes. Results as it stands won't be needed. The race has not gotten on its way, but the results last race show you Jack Painter was our winner. We'll see whether or not he'll be able to replicate that feat. Maybe he's got something under the hood once again that could take him all the way to a victory once more. Thurston back on the track right now. He'll lead us around to the green flag here in qualifying as more drivers step onto the circuit for the very first time.
Right you are, David. A lot of people beginning their first laps in single car qualifying, looking at River Page as he makes his attempt. Then we're going on to, I think that is the 79. Oh, the 12. But as it stands right now, no one has set or completed a full lap, so timing and scoring does not say anyone has gone fastest. Looking at Spencer Ray. Cole Freilich now is your provisional pole sitter. Now Tryphon Davis. Everyone moving up the rankings. Going to be a fast lap from Tryphon Davis. 18.750, with James Thurston just falling back 1700 slower with a 7.67. Everyone else following in behind with a range of high 18s, and now Tryphon Davis goes even faster to set a 7.23. But now everyone behind him, we have a tie on the track between Wesley Parker and River Page with a 7.27. Wesley Parker winning out that battle. Then below that, James Thurston with a 7.38. All of the top 3, besides Wesley Parker, have concluded their qualifying run. So Tryphon Davis, now fastest on the track, concludes his attempt to go for pole, and it's just going to fall short. Rudy Valentine with a blistering 6.44 will jump to the top of the timing tables and might have stolen pole position with 3 minutes left on the clock. So cars out on track to make their time be known. James Thurston, about to be finished with his 3rd lap, sits 5th with a 7.38, ends his qualifying run. Cole Freilich with a 7.53, and with just 2.5 minutes left in qualifying, it seems, that everyone has set their times. A lot of the field no longer on the track. Only people on track, Scott Roush, Jack Lauer, and that's it. Jack Lauer and Scott Roush, the only ones. Jack Lauer beginning his run. First lap about to be in the books now. That sets him with an 18.898. Will put him 19th and one of the slowest guys on track as he gets ready to set up his second lap. Scott Roush with a 19.414 overall, the slowest, other than the people who haven't qualified, which is Harry Grindell, Michael Cormenis, and Griffin Jones. Jack Lauer moves up the timing tables with a 7.98. That moves him up to 13th on the grid. Scott Roush rounding out 21st, 22nd. Corey Verbenek, the one who set a 19.590. Isaac Johnson now beginning his qualifying run as well, going to go with a 19.452. So now it takes the second to last spot on the timing tables. So we watch him try and set his second lap. Scott Roush going around to finish his third lap, and it's not going to be any faster. He qualifies 21st. Now moving down the grid again as Isaac Johnson goes for an 18.988. Moves him up to 20th on the timing sheets. But that seems to be everyone who wants to qualify with just over a minute 25 left in qualifying. Your non-qualifiers are Harry Grindell and Michael Cormenis. No one else seems to be out on the track. Griffin Jones, Marty Farrell, and William Schmidt, all of those to not set a time. Scott Roush still on the track as it seems trying to improve that 19.414, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And with just 63 seconds left on the clock for qualifying, pole seems to be set, with a 78 of Rudy Valentine coming out on top over Tryphon Davis, Wesley Parker, and River Page, like he said, rounding out that fourth spot.
And it looks like qualifying all but over, and it looks like we can put away the ticker for now. And with that in mind, how's about we get the jump on your starting grid as the sun is set here in the Nashville Fairgrounds. The Music City 150 gets to play its first tune. Rudy Valentine going to be pole position, first spot on the board in the number 78 with an 18.644, putting him on the top spot. From there on out, going to be Tryphon Davis in second with an 18.723. And Wesley Parker in the number 22 will be in third with an 18.727. River Page, fourth spot on the pecking order, 18.727. It's a dead heat there, but it looks like on iRating it will be given to Wesley Parker. Fifth place going to be James Thurston, a debuting driver in the Short Track Showdown, the rookie from the Premier Series who broke the boundary, won races. He's looking to do the same thing again and then some tonight. 62 machine, 18.738, puts him fifth with Cole Fralick sixth, Sirister in seventh. Now it's going to be Josh Stoltz in eighth and Jack Painter, your defending winner from the Formula V's, in ninth. It's David Cabrera to round at the top 10, and he's got himself an 18.778.
Now going on with the back half of the grid, Nolan Sanford with an 18.780 flat. Almost could have been 11th for Nathan Kiani, sets an 18.781, just 1,000th off time. Then it's Jack Lauer, Zach Nichols for 13th and 14th, Wesley Person and Mo Perry. Mo Perry with an 8.63, just a bit slower than the rest of the guys. Vincent Goetze was fighting for the lead last of the preliminary race. Will now go side by side with Sunoco driver Nate Stewart. Then it's Adam Sweet and Isaac Johnson to round out the top 20.
And to finish off the field, it's Spencer Ray 21st and Scott Roush in 22nd with Corey Verbenek once again the final man on the pylon with a timed lap. Then from there on out, we got William Schmidt registered 24th and Michael Cormenis registered 25th with Harry Grindell 26th, Marty Farrell 27th, and Griffin Jones to round out the field playing shotgun. He's in 28th. A field of 28 drivers take to the virtual Nashville Fairgrounds. A track in a constant battle in the real world gets to live freely on iRacing, and we get to see some damn good racing on a Friday night to go along with it. Pit entry, it's absolutely empty, of course. Now they'll be exiting off pit road, and it will be go time in just a lap's time as more drivers remove themselves from the pit circuit. They'll go on to the racing circuit and hope to put on a great show. For those who don't know, 150 laps tonight, and it looks like now every driver is on the circuit getting ready to do their thing. Adam Sweet and Michael Cormenis, only drivers who look to be missing at the moment.
The top two aren't able to get a word with us, but we can get a word with third place, Wesley Parker. You beat out the tie over River Page with iRating. You sit third as we couldn't get an interview with the top two. Your shots on winning?
0%. And I ran a 7.26. He ran a 7.27.
So that is a timing and scoring error on our part. Must have been so close that they might have rounded up the time. But about to go green. Any final thoughts?
Let's go have fun, mainly. So, yeah.
Well, that was the voice of Wesley Parker as we get ready to take the green flag in the OSRL Short Track Showdown, the Music City 150. Rudy Valentine tries and takes the lead away, has pole position over Tryphon Davis, Wesley Parker, James Thurston, and River Page. Lap 1 about to be completed. Here's the cockpit view of what Rudy Valentine sees to run it around to complete lap 1, and he's going to be our leader from here on out.
And look at how dark it is inside that cockpit. The driver is focusing on all the light outside of him, of course. It's the track you got to keep your eyes on. And the field right now spreading out. Let's take a look at that. Leader's got himself an edge in that number 78 Interstate Batteries machine. Looking to go all the way as he's got himself an edge over drivers such as River Page, James Thurston, Parker, and Tryphon Davis. Side by side it is Page and Thurston as they work off the corner. Page makes a huge slap into that number 62. But they all stay calm as they go through once again. 3 laps in to make it 4. It's been Rudy Valentine leading all of which, and now it looks like the leading drivers have a good control of what they want and what they need out of their machines. Looking good so far, but Rudy Valentine's got himself that advantage. Looks like he's just got something special these guys don't just yet.
Right, you are. Rudy Valentine still maintaining the lead. Wesley Parker now fighting for third. This is actually turning out to be a great race. This is a lot of classic short track racing, both lanes being used up and the leader kind of running away, but River Page actually finds himself in a great position just in front of James Thurston. Now, then Tryphon Davis now going to look the battle of the 55 on track. Slides up. It gives the position away. Now River Page slots into third, but it's not over yet. Tryphon Davis now slides to that inside lane. Going to try and make something work on the bottom edge of that Blackwood 55. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. River Page is loose and barely clears himself off the corner, and the 55 has now taken the third spot away. Battling here between Spencer Ray and Wesley Person. Now a great battle also with the 70 of the British driver of Harry Grindell. Now splits it almost 3 wide, going to slide up the track a little bit. This is turning out to be great racing as we see Spencer Ray gets loose off corner exit, and that's going to put him back in the 16th position. Actually, no, sorry, I'm incorrect. That's going to put Spencer Ray, I actually can't find it. That's going to put him 17th along with the 70 and the 33 and 77.
9 laps in, we'll make it 10 next time by and go to the double digits. Rudy Valentine's got himself an edge as we see a fierce battle behind Grindell, and that looked to be Isaac Johnson and Wesley Person. Coming off of the corner once again, Rudy Valentine's got himself a 9/10 of a second lead as they door bang once more. That's Davis down low, and it looks to be Wesley Parker up high. They're side by side with River Page now ahead of both of them. Page is in second, and James Thurston of the Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports organization, well, he is in 5th. It looks like it's a bit of a FORL sandwich. A lot of guys from the normal FTN scene coming over tonight. Page, one of those guys, Thurston too, and they are now putting the pressure on up in front. But Wesley Parker and Tryphon Davis, the most pressure put on the both of them is by each other. They're right on each other's tails as we see one driver go 1 lap down. That looks to be Spencer Ray. So Ray's going to go right up high, and that's going to bring a huge loss of time to the number 22. Trouble for your leaders as they get by the first lapper on pace for the night. Luckily, everyone gets by, and Wesley Parker is still battling in the thick of it. This time, he's got Cirrus Geringe right now on his bottom.
This is a great race. Rudy Valentine still your leader over River Page, who moved up into second position. Tryphon Davis, James Thurston, your top 4. Wesley Person, Cirrus Geringe, Cole Freilich, Jack Painter, Josh Stoltz, as I think we've got some wrecking here in the back. A lot of movement going on in the back of the field. And yes, caution is out on lap 14 out of 150.
Looks to be guys involved, including Corey Vervinick, Wesley Person, and Marty Farrell. Yellow flag out for the first time, and it looks like we'll have to take an instant replay and find out who got caught up. Looks like Mo Perry involved. We'll take a look on back and find out why he was, as the FTN or instant replay will fall in. You can see the 89 there, but we should be looking right now at the number 54, and it looks like we still don't have a read just yet. It's further back in the field. Instant replay gonna show you right now. Looks like we've still got our front runners here. The back of the field looks to be where the issue was.
Right, you are caution out. Lap 15 out of 150. What was a really good race, and just a small wreck in the back. Spencer Ray, and he gets back into the back of some people and goes for a wild ride up and over. And this is a much bigger wreck and gets plowed by the 12. This is a much bigger wreck than I thought.
Yeah, huge one there with drivers getting caught up all throughout. I mean, Mo Perry, huge one. He's on pit road. Griffin Jones, Nate Stewart, Corey Vervinick, they're all caught up in it. And 16 laps in, the number 89 machine still doing good up ahead. It was a fierce battle up front we were focusing on, but little did we know, it looks like the wrecks have already begun. 16 laps in, Rudy Valentine has had a command over this field, and nobody has taken him out of this fight. I mean, it's not really a fight at this point. He's got some natural pace that nobody else seems to be able to replicate. It's Valentine and Page 1-2, Triffin Davis is third, and James Thurston's fourth, with Wesley Person rounding at your top five. Griffin Jones right now coming off of pit road.
Right, you are Rudy Valentine, still your overall leader. It says with River Page, Trifon Davis, James Thurston, and Wesley Parker rounding out your top five. This is so far a great race up, 17 out of 150. Seen a lot of great racing, a lot of side by side. So far, it was really clean up until that wreck. But overall, this has been a great race so far, David.
It has been very close. The close quarters action, always exciting. Short track racing in a good way being shown, especially at the front of our field. Lappers and crewed, Vincent Guecci. Guecci looks to be the first lap machine, and he will be sent up high to fall to the tail end of the field. Wesley Person, also a lapper. Nate Stewart and Corey Vervink are both on pit road, and it looks like they will be eligible to return to the race. Scott Roush and Spencer Ray, 5 laps down to. No retirees just yet, with the exception of Adam Sweet and Michael Cormenis. Rest of your drivers, which are 26 of which, still racing as we come to the line. Green flag will fall back at lap number 20, 18 laps in, and it's led by the number 78, a dominant force, Rudy Valentine.
Right, you are. Rudy Valentine has led every lap so far of this race. Started from pole, is still in the lead, but now he'll have to contend with a lightning fast River Page in the black 55 with James Thurston just behind him. This is going to be quite an interesting restart. We don't know what we're going to see here. David, any thoughts before we go green?
As we come through, going green, I think cautions will breed cautions, which is a shame to say, of course. We saw a lot in the Formula V event, and it's a different style of racing, but short track tempers are bound to flare as the iRacing pace truck is down and in. Rudy Valentine leads them back at it, and River Page now has a shot to go chase that lead. Top 4 guys file down low as the race is back on its way, 20 laps in.
Race back under green. River Page now in second place to try and fight for that lead. And he's probably going to move Rudy Valentine out of the way as an unstoppable force there at the front of the field. Now, Mo Perry tries to make his move. And it's going to be tight on the outside. Like we said, we're going to see a lot of side-by-side action. Might be tough for the guy on the top. But as it stands right now, this is so far a great battle between... Actually, no, that's Sirius Garinge and Trifon Davis going at it for the 4th position. So far, great. The top 3 now locked up and driving away. But right now, we've got a clean race. Lap 22 out of 150.
150 laps, of course, the main race, the length Of course, much more than what we've seen already, but these first 22, now 23, have flown by, and the battles are omnipresent. Leader is pulling away once again. Rudy Valentine, not as much as before, and the biggest battle is indeed Cyrus Geringe and that number 27 of Triffin Davis. Stubble file, only seen on back further in the field. I think it's a guy like Jack Painter right now going right at it. Rest of your field is remaining in this single file procedure. Now I'm going to see Wesley Parker going at it. It's going to be the 22 and 89 battling once again. Top three drivers are in a world of their own. Rest of the field trying to get up to them, but they're only slowing each other down as they continue to race as hard as they can. Before things get dicey later, the front runners want to get away and get that experience driving as hard as they can. Any damage could be major. Of course, now we're not playing with the same rules. The Formula V's instant damage repair. There are going to be consequences if you make too many mistakes.
Right, you are, with damage being turned back on for this event. Drivers have seemed to calm down, and now whenever wrecks happen, it's mainly just mistakes and not just going for the race lead without blind skill. Now Cole Fralick gets ahead of Cyrus Geringe. Nate Stewart is down pit road.
And Stewart down and in that time by. We just take a brief look at him. He's been there for quite a while. Looks like 10 laps, as a matter of fact. Might be his race. He's still not officially retired as Thurston inches away from River Page. That's going to get him the second spot. And now James Thurston is chasing your race lead. Fantastic working around that number 55. And of course, those two are in the same voice chat right now, talking to one another as it goes on. Maybe it's the best chance for them to chase down Rudy if James Thurston does the hard work and River Page reaps the benefits. They could be working together here. They're both up in the podium, second and third as we speak. Take a look at the 33 machine. That's Isaac Johnson, now trying to work on the triple-digit thread of Zach Knowles. It's the Canadian against the American. It looks like one of the very few international drivers right now, and you can see the battle sort of winding down as we look back ahead to the number 89 machine. Cyrus Geringe now being pressured by Jack Painter. Painter up one spot in his qualifying order. He is in 8th.
Right you are, David. So far, a great race. Everyone stayed clean, and everyone's kind of just trying to let the laps wind down. Rudy Valentine and James Thurston, two guys who are known for cutting it close to here together. James Thurston now actually cutting it quite close to the back end of Rudy Valentine. He might actually be catching him not too far behind. The gap just being 4/10 away. River Page now falls back to third, still a place over where he qualified. Triffin Davis now dropping 2, as well as Wesley Parker. Here is William Schmidt. Now, a great battle in the back between him, Harry Grindell, and Jack Lauer in that 59 car. This has been a good battle all race.
And it doesn't matter where you are in the field, front or back, they're getting dicey. William Schmidt is up 8 spots, and the driver right in front of him, Harry Grindell, has climbed 10. Back up to Cyrus Geringe as they make it by another machine coming off pit road. That's Mo Perry in the Perry Paints machine, and it looks like they're back on the way in that 54. Damage on the right side, but still able to keep on limping it. Not sure what the plan is for the remainder of this race. All said, but not done. Jack Painter now working on Cyrus Geringe. He's down low as they're going to get collected. Spin it looks to be. Nolan Sanford, yellow flag is out.
Right you are. Yellow flag back out on the track, lap 34 out of 150. Surprisingly, this race has gone by quite quickly. But as it seems, we've got another spin in the back, and good God, that's Mo Perry with a lot of damage. And then he spins. So not a good race for Mo Perry as it stands right now.
And another hit for that number 54. Other drivers that lost a lot of time, including Nolan Sanford, but he's able to recollect it and get it back on his way. Looked to be a separate problem for him, but not the caution causer. It is Rudy Valentine still leading, but James Thurston was looking pretty good that time by. If we're looking at timing and scoring, the most recent lap, it looks like James Thurston was 0.2 of a second faster. However, that is somewhat unreliable because the yellow flag did come out. Monitoring their most recent laps, it's a bit of a difference. It is slower than their usual. Best lap, Rudy Valentine does not have. River Page is the fastest lap of the night with an 18.677. Rudy Valentine very close with a 18.698, my apologies, 18 seconds, not 17. James Thurston, 7:11 on the decimal mark. His fastest laps have not been up there with either of these drivers, but he is ahead of River Page on pace, made that pass under green. Now, he's going to have to make work of Rudy Valentine, even if it's not quick.
Right you are, David. We're looking at some great battles here. Now, James Thurston in the second position. He might be more of a fight to Rudy Valentine than we've ever seen all here tonight. 37 out of 150. Kind of going through almost a third of the way through this race. This race has gone by very quick with a lot of nice green flag running. And I'm sure these guys have appreciated that over the caution fest that was the Formula B race.
And right now, yes, we have seen much longer green flag races. However, those races within the race have been cut short by yellows multiple times over. Nevertheless, Rudy Valentine is your race leader, 38 laps in, and we'll be heading to the green flag lap 40. So, with you all being here in the broadcast, we thank you all for stopping by, and if you want to get more involved with the FTN community, be sure to check out our Discord, and that's the QR code there on your screen. Make sure to scan it. We'd love to have you there inside of information. Whenever we go live, we make sure to let y'all know. And if you want to join all the leagues that we work with, Broadcasted Leagues is a section in that chat room. Once again, our schedule for this week, the Schumacher Racing League made its way onto the FTN scene for the first time on Monday nights. It will continue to be there. The Integrity Octane Series returned from over a month-and-a-half break, and the FORL Cup Series remained consistent, while a Road to Pro qualifying series broke FTN viewership records with a fantastic run at the Tricky Triangle. Now, with that in mind, we'll be back Monday night after this one. We thank y'all for stopping by on this beautiful Friday night in the virtual Nashville Fairgrounds. I've been your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz, alongside my co-host and Alexander Balderas, Cody Demers, pushing the buttons behind the screen. 39 laps in, green flag falls at 40, and the Music City 150 has given us no shortage of action-packed racing. Let's get back at it once again. Pace truck is in. The green flag is out. Rudy Valentine leads them by once more.
Rudy Valentine going off strong here again. This time we almost got three wide racing with Cole Fralick shot all the way up the track. Now to the inside goes River Page to try and make the move on the 62 of James Thurston. 40 out of 150. Now River Page and James Thurston side by side as another yellow falls on the racetrack.
Yellow flag out and quickly. Looks to be drivers like Jack Lauer losing time as we try to get an analysis of what occurred. Back of the field, there was trouble. So take a look. It was David Cabrera. Cabrera stacks up the field, gets multiple drivers caught up. Whoa! Huge hit!
Yeah, that's a nasty hit in the back of the pack, which brings out the yellow flag once again. Lap 41 out of 150, almost a third of the way through this race. Like you said, David, I think cautions may breed cautions, even though this is mostly clean racing.
It's been mostly clean. Huge hit in the back, I believe. That's going to be Mo Perry involved. He's now one lap down. 42 laps in out of 150. The 78 machine still leads. James Thurston finds himself in second, and it is River Page in third. Triffin Davis now going to be in fourth with Wesley Parker rounding out that top five. For the most part, things have stayed the same up in front. Very stable. These guys who are leading the race know what they're doing. That is for certain. I mean, tell you this much, Rudy Valentine, no competition so far tonight. Maybe Thurston's able to change that? We haven't seen much that's indicating that, but so many yellow flags, maybe the sparkle on that number 78 will begin to wear out.
Right you are. Rudy Valentine still your leader, almost as a third of the laps in this race. James Thurston able to get back past River Page for second. Will line up third. Now, Jack Lauer and the rest of the guys behind have been in a few incidents, but overall this race has been clean, but, you know, with it being a short track and us going green here in a couple of laps, cautions may breed cautions again, just like the V race, but overall this has been much more cleaner than the V race.
Much cleaner, that is for certain. This is only our third yellow flag of the night so far, and most of your leading drivers are still intact. As we look on back, Spencer Ray is 31 laps down, Nate Stewart's 27 laps down, and Corey Vervinicht is 22. Scott Roush is 5 laps down as it stands, and Marty Farrell is 3 laps down, 1 lap down, occupied by both Mo Perry and Wesley Person. It is River Page, we see on the screen right there. The number 55 machine has looked very good so far tonight. He said he wasn't all too sure about being a race-winning threat, but right now, if anyone's a threat, I think the drivers of the 62 and 55 both are. And I tell you this much, I think if anyone gets through, it would be either of those two. They just have to work it out amongst themselves.
You're right about that, David. The 62 and the 55 are my picks to win this race. Nothing short of Rudy Valentine. It isn't an insane amount of skill, but I figure something may happen, and these two have a great chance for the win. And 45 out of 150, we're getting ready to go green here once again here at Nashville, the Nashville Fairgrounds for the second race of the night, the late model stocks. The oval stocks. But if you didn't join us here for the last race, we had an awesome preliminary race. So when the stream goes back on the FTN YouTube channel, be sure to look back at that because it was a great one. David, back to you.
It's been two good races so far, of course, one complete and one is not. If you've been with us so far, you've seen it before. Same drivers, different track. We're back racing with lap number 46 now on display. Valentine gets the good edge. It's going to be the 27 machine of Triffin Davis right there with them. Fourth place is going to be a battle, and one drives down to the apron. That's Cole Freilich. Freilich just out of frame, trying to do the bidding of the race winner in his own little pack, trying to slice and dice away to get up in front. He's made it up as it stands. Absolutely no spots on his qualifying position. He's been consistently in the 6th spot. He wants to gain a few more if he wants any chance at that checkered flag. The eye in the sky going to show you all the action courtesy of Forward Studios tonight, your proud premier sponsor of the Short Track Showdown. 99, that's Josh Stoltz right down low. His first and only career OSRL win came in the Short Track Showdown last season, looking to get one done once again, riding aboard with Formula V winner Jack Painter, pushing as hard as he can. 97 machine sees multiple battles right behind. Most of your top 10 are staying calm, and the rest of the field on back holds no prisoners.
Right you are, David, coming back up to the 3rd mark throughout this race. Race has been really good so far, and maybe I was wrong about the cautions, precautions. We've gone here a few laps of green, and everyone seems to have calmed down, so maybe it was just a phase within early of the race. This has been fantastic racing throughout the whole field, though. Side-by-side action all the way down from first to last.
Josh Stoltz right now battling with Harry Grindell as they come through, and first to last, there's always action on the track. 51 laps in out of a total of 150. 99 machine finds himself right down low. That number 70 still there as well. That's the Renault International talent, Harry Grindell is, and right now he is carrying the torch in that bright red Kamikaze machine. He's up high. It's Josh Stoltz right down low, and Stoltz barely holds him in. It's quarter panel to quarter panel there, and if Grindell is able to clear, he will get away quite easily. Right ahead of this battle is Nolan Sanford, and his Kodak machine is still running quite nicely. The 99 drops down low once again, now with some pressure from Isaac Johnson, and the back end of the field no less exciting compared to the front. Intervals are as close as they can get. River Page now seeing some trouble with Cole Freilich right behind him. Is this the moment Freilich breaks through? It might be, and if you look further up front, James Thurston is hounding the back end of your current race leader in Rudy Valentine.
Right you are. Rudy Valentine now being hounded by the 62 of James Thurston at the front of the field. Just 2/3 of the race left to go, and the 62 is already eyeing up a move to pass the 78 for the lead. He knows he wants to lead laps in this race. River Page in the 55 has fallen back a few spots, but is still faster than ever and still with a great chance of a top 5 or a podium. And here comes the 62, and they're wrecking in the back. 2-car spin off of turn number 2, and the caution waves once again.
It's Jack Painter. Wow.
I'm shocked. The winner of the preliminary race in the V's now wrecked again. Let's take a look at what happened here. Here's Cole Freilich in the picture as well. So get an FTN, it's a replay. Oh, that's just wrong place, wrong time. The 09 slides up and almost gets in the wreck again, but that, I mean, I don't know if there's much you could say about that.
And River Page is on the hunt. Is he looking for someone? I was looking at that number 55, revving it up. He's looking for the pace car. Nothing to be afraid of there. But I'm telling you this much, River Page, he almost got a shot in the arm there. Cole Freilich right there. And James Thurston avoids it. But I'll tell you this much, wrong place, wrong time for our Formula V winner. 57 laps in, that could have been much worse. You avoid one wreck, you're involved in another. That's the story of that most recent incident as we're back under yellow once again.
Right, you are. Gonna go back green probably about lap 60. These guys lining it up, getting ready to rack them up, stack them up, and go back racing again. Rudy Valentine still your leader over James Thurston. He's got a shot of David Cabrera coming out of pit road, beating the pace car. He'll go back to the end of the field. So far, this has been a fantastic race. Great racing all throughout the field. A few wrecks, but that's to be expected here at a short track just like Nashville Fairgrounds. The night racing has turned the heat up between the drivers. The late afternoon race was great with the Formula Vs, but now the night is great. The lights are on, and the show is about to peak its final form as Rudy Valentine still your leader over James Thurston and Tryphon Davis.
And the night is young here in Nashville Fairgrounds, and I'll tell you this much, Valentine looked to be the runaway winner at the very early stages of this race. He still has led every lap tonight, but James Thurston has gotten very, very close. Had that yellow flag not come out, I wouldn't be entirely convinced to say Rudy would have held that lead. He was very close to losing it, and now as they come around once again, he'll have to think more defensively because that 78 machine is getting hounded all over the back end. He's got James Thurston, Tryphon Davis, Parker, Page, and Gorange. All these guys up in the top 5, top 6, even down to the guys like Sanford and Grindel. They are fierce contenders, and they got a good shot to go for it if they're given the opportunity. Track position is big. Rudy Valentine has shown it, and in the top 5, their top 5 drivers who started the race are still your top 5 in this race. Thurston's gained 3 spots, Tryphon Davis has lost 1, Wesley Parker has lost 1, and River himself has lost 1 too. So all your top 5 from qualifying remain up in the top 5, 60 laps in as they go double file once again.
Right, you are getting ready to go green here at the end of lap 60. Rudy Valentine still your leader. River Page now still in the top 5, looking for a chance at a top possible podium or a possible win. James Thurston is going to be the most hungry person I know for this win. Rudy Valentine has led he's led every lap in this race, and James Thurston is eager to take that lead away.
And maybe this is the shot he needs to take that lead. Coming around this time by is going to be River Page in the top 5, but his friend up there in the second spot, James Thurston, looking to chase down Rudy Valentine. Back on her way with lap number 61, and it's all about chasing down that green number 78. He's got a target on his back bumper, that's for sure. We'll see if anyone tries to hit it. Down low, 27 machine. That is Tryphon Davis. He's working there with Wesley Parker. Single file up in front, but they're double file on back, and now it's going to be the 89 machine battling with River Page. 18 spots up. Harry Grindel has gone from outside of the top 20 inside the top 10. Wreck! Big one. Multiple drivers involved. Looks like Nathan Kiani, and the yellow flag is out again for the number 17 of Nathan Kiani. The Canadian gets caught up.
Right, you are, David. The Canadian once again gets caught up in a multitude of wrecks in the back of the pack. This race is turning out to be a really, really good race, but wrecking still continues to haunt us from going green. And here's an instant replay of what happened. William Schmidt behind the 17, and it's not Nathan Kiani's fault at all. Just once again, wrong place, wrong time, and that's gonna give him damage and send him down pit road.
And it looks like too many drivers in one space and indeed the wrong time. That's what caused our most recent incident. William Schmidt right there with Mo Perry and Nathan Kiani. Kiani, as it stands, down pit road, 64 laps in. And that changes the complexion of this race once again. As it stands, Isaac Johnson now inside the top 10. Zach Knowles moves up into 11th, and Mo Perry is still scored in 12th. but Kiani has dropped down into the 17th position, matching his number, and it looks like for the William Schmidt machine you mentioned, he's up into 7th. So top 10 changes, and it changes big. Some drivers gaining from that one, and some others losing. We've got a challenge, or sort of a competition, to see who's going to be the hard charger tonight. Harry Grindell has gained 19 positions. He's up into 6th. However, William Schmidt, one position behind him, has gained 17. If Schmidt were to pass Harry Grindell, they would have both gained 18 positions on their starting order, and we would have a technical dead heat for the biggest mover of this race. The Hard Charger Award is being battled for just outside the top 5. That's another great storyline to follow. Schmidt and Grindell, great racers, have cut through this pack like it's a loaf of bread.
Right, you are. Lap 65 out of 150, over a third of the race completed. Rudy Valentine has led every lap so far. James Thurston now, I know, eager to try and take that lead away, riding on board with Sirius Garinge. Lap 66 out of 150. This race has been really, really good. We've seen a lot of everything throughout the pack. We've seen close-knit side-by-side racing. We've seen more stretched out, normal short-track racing. We've seen it all under the umbrella of racing here tonight. We even saw SuperSpeedway Racing last race. And if you missed that, go check it out when the stream goes back to the FTN YouTube channel, as that's a race you don't want to miss.
Of course, 2 action-packed races, we mentioned it. It's great to see the sort of coupling we do here in OSRL. And next week, the online SuperSpeedway Racing League will take us down to the Bull Ring and for a 125-lap main event. Street Stocks will be our 30-minute appetizer. Another great short track, July 28th. Save the date. As we come back this time by, we'll show you some onboard cameras, but they're going to look a bit different. We're going to watch these late model stocks at work and show you all of the inner workings, the suspension in motion. We've got some fantastic cameras for this track, and they're going to show you all the nitty gritty iRacing as detailed as it gets. So we'll take a look at those beautiful onboard cams when the pace truck gets on its way. 67 laps in this time by, make it 68. The restart's going to put the green flag back in the air. Rudy leads them once again, and now we're going to take an inside look to all the late model stocks that occupy the track.
Right, you are getting a great look at Harry Grindell's. I believe that's his front right. Front left. It's going to be an amazing race here from the rest of it. Lap 68 out of 150 as we get to see the inner workings of Harry Grindell as he hauls this race car around Nashville Fairgrounds. As we ride on board with Vincent Guecci as well. This is the rear end of the car. You can see the solid axle and the loose spring and the coilover all helping to support the weight of the car as it goes over very bumpy track Nashville Fairgrounds. But as you can see, you can even see the brake cooling duct moving along with the suspension. But that coilover really putting in the work to keep these cars stable on the racetrack.
Most definitely. 69 laps just passed. It's been a nice run up in front for Rudy Valentine, who's led every lap until now. Take a look at your new race leader. It's James Thurston, and he just took the top spot away from Rudy. Now the 78 machine finds himself in second with Wesley Parker in third and Sirius Garinge on the back end too. Now we've got ourselves multiple battles up ahead. Schmidt trying to make do with a man in that number 55, River Page. They're side by side as it stands. Taking a look at the window shot here, and you can see the corner panel view as well. Now the pressure is on for River, who's up on the high side, getting really moved out of lane. It is a freight train moving him by, and River's going to have to work for every spot he keeps. Vincent Guecci now up into 8th, tries to get him for 7th, but can't be able to make it happen. He's looking for his 10th gained position of the night.
And right you are back here with the OSRL Short Track Showdown, the Music City 150, looking at William Schmidt. So far, this race has been really good. Lap 73 out of 150. James Thurston, now your new leader over Rudy Valentine, who had led every lap in this race. Refreshing to see a new leader out on track, and Rudy will have to work for the lead back again.
We'll see whether or not Rudy Valentine's given up all he has as Jack Painter battles now with Isaac Johnson. Johnson's going to be up high, and it's going to be Painter right down low, as it looks like Isaac gets the better that time by. The 97 absolutely has damage, and it's a wreck! River Page, yellow flag comes out at the halfway break.
Right you are. Halfway in this race, and River Page goes around. Unfortunate to what happened to the 55. He was really fast out on track as we try and work to get an instant replay of what happened.
And as we take a look back, number 55, River Page involved, and it looks like it was Nathan Kiani who went around first. That brings out another cause for caution, and the 17 has to get back on his way. Hits the wall once, hopefully not twice, and now we see what happened specifically with River. Looking up front, the number 55, he's there, and he's battling side by side with Harry Grindell. Grindell up high, River Page down low, and he does not get loose on entry, and it looks like he won't off exit there. To 3 and 4 he goes, and this looks to be when the problem begins. 55 up high, tries to come down low on Schmidt, and nothing comes of it yet. Looks like I'm talking a bit too early. 55 stays in the mix. Second lane, keeping himself close to Schmidt, and they come off the corner. No issue there. So it looks like we're watching a lap after a lap before it happened, and it looks like now the 55 is dead even with William Schmidt once more. You can see how these two are oh so close side by side, building up to this wreck. And when it happens, most definitely a cause of some very close side-by-side action.
Yeah, I don't think it was him and William Schmidt that got cause for the wreck at all. I think it was Vinny here coming up the track. I think he might catch the right rear of the 55. It doesn't look like that happened right away, so not really sure what brought out the yellow apart from River spinning. As we're ready to go back live, and he's in his pit box.
And there we have it, new race leader. Just when Rudy lost it, Isaac Johnson has got it. And now the complexion of this race changes all over again. Pit row being occupied, drivers coming down to take their first set of fresh Goodyear rubber. And it looks like off of pit road, your winner would be Rudy Valentine. He now finds himself in 5th ahead of James Thurston, who now has the fastest lap in 6th, Harry Grindell in 7th, and Wesley Parker in 8th. It's certainly a different look up ahead with that number 33 on the top of the board. And just like that, the 33 might just have a chance to go all the way.
Right, you are. And since we weren't able to find the wreck, why don't we talk to the wreck? River, we found you spun around at a number 55. Tell us what happened, as we could not find the cause of the incident.
I was so ungodly tight at the end of that run. I was kind of holding Gucci up a little bit, and he said he just wanted to give me a little tap, and instead he drove about 4 feet under my asshole and spun me out. But since I'm the GOAT, I saved it. I had a bunch of damage from when Cole threw a pissy fit and wrecked me under yellow, so now I'm a lap down, but it's all good.
So struggling to keep the race car clean out on the racetrack. Do you think you still have a chance of at least coming home in the top 5 as we get ready to go green?
I just need to get my lap back, and then yeah. But for now, I'm just gonna try and hang out and not get wrecked, and wait for Griffin Jones to pass me. Come on, let's go. If I get a penalty because of this guy, I'm gonna scream.
Well, thank you so much, River. We're about to go green, and enjoy the rest of your race.
Yeah, we are green.
As we go green here with 70 laps to go here in the OSRL Short Track Showdown, the Music 150 here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Oh, we've got another wreck in the back. Jack Painter spins again.
And Painter involves another wreck. The 97 goes around, and just when we were green, we are not anymore. That's for certain. The iRacing official pace truck backing in. Zach Knowles involved. 70 laps remaining. Time running out. And we see another yellow flag back to back, I believe, for the first time tonight. As you look with a 742 of Zach Knowles. Vincent Guecci comes down in, hits Painter, hits Knowles, and then Painter sees the number 09 back into the wall again. Huge hits. Multiple drivers involved in multiple different ways, and that brings out the yellow with 69 to go. Not a nice way to put us into this final stint of the race.
Yeah, right you are, with another wreck in the back of the pack. Terrible wreck included. That was probably the biggest one of the race so far. That almost included all of the field. I mean, that was a track blocker if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely. It looks like the entire track got taken up there, which is unfortunate to say for a lot of these drivers, but for the most part, we should be okay up in front. Isaac Johnson, as a result of that incident, is able to maintain his lead without much competition. Nolan Stanford is in second, and David Cabrera is in third. It's Triffin Davis in position number 4, and then James Thurston in 5th. And it looks like Rudy Valentine got passed twice in that very short run. That might be the race-changing move, because the 78 machine is once again behind James Thurston. Bad news if Rudy does not have anything more in the tank. But as we saw before, Rudy looked to be faster on the initial run of the race. Maybe he's got a bit more short track speed, short run speed in him all at once when we get back green next time by.
Right, you are, David, and let's have a chat with our leader, Isaac Johnson. You join us here in the FTN booth. You're our current leader with about 66 laps left to go in the Music City 150. What are your chances on winning? What do you think your chances are of winning?
I'm not sure yet. I need to see how these guys who just pitted pan out in terms of overall pace. I did short pit there about 10 laps or so I'm a little bit disadvantaged there, but I'm pretty confident with what I got for pace overall compared to like Nolan and David and stuff like that. But I start getting worried when I see like Triffin or Rudy or guys like that.
All right, you are. You certainly have had a good race so far. Can you give us any insights on the wrecks in the back of the pack that keep happening?
It's a lot, mainly just coming off too. The front end of the car tends to pick up a push or apex out. Front end just gets really tight under guys and really loose over guys. So it's mainly just meeting in the middle. And obviously it's usually the outside car that gets hooked around, and then it's just a big old wreck down the back straightaway.
Yeah, because that's what we saw that brought out this yellow. A lot of our hopefuls got in that wreck as well, including the prelim race winner, Jack Painter. So, because Jack Painter's not on VC, do you have any thoughts from him? Did he say anything, or?
I did not hear anything. I have my radio turned down because everyone's kind of yelling a lot, so.
Well, I don't doubt it. This is a pretty chaotic race, but right before we go green, anything else you'd like to say?
Nothing really. I hope everyone has a fun race tonight.
All right, well, thank you so much, and hope it goes well.
Thank you.
As we're green again with 65 laps to go in the Music City 150 here in the OSRL Short Track Showdown. For the second time again, first one being last year. Great battle. Isaac Johnson leads the field with James Thurston and Rudy Valentine cooking something up to cut through the field. Already going to pass the 31 of David Cabrera. They're already working together on that bottom side lane, but somehow they're getting gapped by the rest of the pack in front. Rudy Valentine now slowing down a bit to give a gap to James Thurston, now coming in close once again. David Cabrera holding his own on that outside lane. He might even clear James Thurston here, which he does.
And the yellow flag's out, and it looks to be involving guys such as William Schmidt back of the field. We'll take a look on back. Schmidt is okay, but it looks like now the back of the field comes into shambles once again. Looking at Josh Stoltz right now in the number 99, and it looks like another guy goes right ahead. Cole Freilich gets a huge lick, and then River Page gets barreled into by the 99, and Freilich then destroys Page. River Page, that has to be a horrible time inside the cockpit. I would love to see an onboard shot from that number 55, because he got destroyed not once, but twice at a standstill. I mean, take a look at that. First guy to hit him. We're watching on board right now as we try to take a look there. River Page, and at this point, he gets pummeled first. He tries to get away from it, and then it looks like he got hit again. Let's take it back even further, try to analyze the whole situation. River, I think, got hit twice.
Yeah, you're right about that. Number 55 goes for another wreck again, and unfortunately involving Cole Freilich. That's just an unfortunate time and place to be, as he was already stating, and around he goes. Oh, he got terrible lick as he gets flipped over. I didn't see that part. Oh my God, he went for a tumble there.
That he did, I'll tell you that much. Huge wreck, very hard to deal with, of course, for any driver to get involved with one that barrel rolls you, and he had to deal with it twice as he comes down a pit road in reverse just to limp it in. 55 machine will make it to his box, and he should be able to get some service in just a moment. Other drivers going in include Josh Stoltz, number 77 machine involved with him as well, going right through. So drivers are still coming down a pit road to get themselves settled in. Isaac Johnson still has this race lead, and we saw before the guys on old tires were in fact gapping the rest of the field. No tire warmth for the guys on the new sets, and there's a perfect mixture of the warmth in the tire and the cool down surface of the track that allow for guys like Isaac Johnson to maintain their position and even gap guys like Thurston, Grindell, and even Sirius Turinge.
Yeah, you're right about that. Now, these guys out in front, I guess, must have been when their tires were warmed up and these cautions keep coming out. It cools them down, but then it cools them down enough to be at that perfect temperature to have that perfect amount of grip and gap the rest of the field. Unlike the guys with new tires, which have to warm them up, and then every time a caution comes out, they only get colder and colder.
And now the sun has set, it becomes that much harder to understand the tire situation. Always different between the day and the night, and with 59 laps to go, the caution flag has flown once again. It's going to be the 33 of Isaac Johnson who leads the way, and right with him, he's got the driver of the number 27, Triffin Davis. Now is an opportunity to go for the race lead. And I'll tell you this much, if Davis really does have the pace he seemed to have in the mid-pack all throughout this race with the track position, I think he's got a shot to take it through and perhaps make this race his from here on out. We've already gone almost 100 laps into this one. How's about we go the rest of the distance as we get down to it this time by 27 down low, 33 up high. Green flag's gonna fly with Isaac Johnson getting the jump.
Right you are, David, coming into the final few laps of this race, 57 laps to go. In the last third of this race, Isaac Johnson now looking to go for it all. 57 now coming to 56 laps to go, and Isaac Johnson still your leader after a majority of the field. Out front now, still on old tires, James Thurston, the first one on new tires.
And the new sets of tire are now going to have to come into their own. Thurston right now finds himself on the back bumper of this main pack, but the battle for the lead continues. 27 down low, Isaac Johnson gets loose. He'll stay right up there on the top side. It's going to be dead even, and with the middle groove coming into play, maybe Johnson can make it work with a crossover here, and that he tries, and that he failed. Johnson around, and we have a yellow flag.
Right you are, David, our leader now in the 33 of Isaac Johnson goes around it. It was not quite, it didn't work like he thought it would. And around he goes hard into the inside wall.
And Johnson's effort to take the race lead, it does not work. He used up all he had and then some. 55 on pit road, the 33, shockingly, is still with us up in front. And it looks like he'll go around to put himself back with the leaders. He's got, it looks like a bit of smoke off the motor. He should be fine to continue at least partially, but don't expect to see him up in front, bar a miracle. It's Triffin Davis in the lead now, Wesley Parker in second, and James Thurston pulling away from Rudy Valentine is in third. Rudy, down 11 positions, is in 12th. This race is changing and changing big up and down the running order. Most drivers have remained relatively similar to their placement, but now it looks like your biggest surprise is Harry Grindell. He's gained 19 positions on this race so far, trying to go for 20. Griffin Jones has made up 17 spots, and now the race for the Hard Charger Award is belonging, of course, to the number 70 for now, but it could change. All of these drivers climbing up through the field, getting their best chance at the win. Zach Knowles is now in the 7th spot. It looks like Nathan Chiani is in 8th. David Cabrera is holding on steady in 6th. New drivers taking a chance up in front, and maybe we'll see a different complexion battling for lead, not just those around it.
Right you are, and we've got a man of the Infield Care Center waiting to talk to us. River Page, after that incident, you're sitting here cleared from the Infield Care Center. Terrible what happened to you, but talk to us and tell us what happened.
I guess it was a continuation of the last incident with Mr. Baby Ridge Cole Fralick. He tried to block me or he got loose. I don't know. I got into him because he came down 3 lanes off the corner and then he flipped me over under yellow, which was, I don't know. It wasn't that realistic of a beef, but it was pretty funny. I did a full like barrel roll, like Clint Boyer style, and then he came back around and hit me head on. Then I get to drive in reverse, but we both got parked for it. So yeah, it was fun while it lasted. I had a really good short run car, but I couldn't save the right front to save my life. So I was just hoping on just getting my lap back and saving my tires until the end, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, and right you are. A continuation of the beef between you and Cole Fralick clearly did not end up well, both of you guys being parked. You were one of my picks to have a possible chance of winning this race. You were fast, and judging off of everyone else in this race, the 62 on track is my other pick to win. What are your picks?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously just Thurston or Rudy. They just, I don't know, Rudy's just so quick on the short run, but Thurston got it figured out as of late, so... yeah, I hope Thurston can get it done for the Ford camp and for the Flopper Racing gang. Yeah, I guess I'll go with Mr. James Thurston.
All right, well, thank you so much. We're gonna go back green here once again. James Thurston to take the green flag, but now this is going to be a great race with just 50 laps to go in the final third of this race. The 62 of James Thurston fights on that inside lane, trying to get it done, and he'll not clear yet. Yet he'll go side by side with the 27, and now it's going to be a tight battle for the race lead between him and Tryphon Davis. The 62 and 27 go back and forth on the track.
Up and down the order, we didn't expect to see James Thurston come up so quickly, but now the chat's pick to win is up ahead. If you got another pick to win, be sure to let us know in the poll we're running. It's 100% in the favor of James Thurston at the moment, and the number 62 trying to do the fans proud. As you look off the door camera, he's got the 27 right there with him, not giving in. Davis goes up high, tries to get a run, uses that high side banking to just stay in it, but Thurston continues to hustle him. David Cabrera now working with the number 70 machine. The leaders are still right at it, and it looks like Thurston has indeed taken that race lead, clearing, but Davis goes down low. It ain't over yet, boys. The number 27 tries to go for it, and he's got himself a shot to do so. Make it 45 laps to go, and the 62 finally gets the clear.
As it seems. Oh, we got a spin in the back. Harry Grindell goes around, and with 45 laps left to go, we've got people parked on the racetrack.
And the 70 of Grindell spinning from the front of the field, and the rest comes crashing down. Instant replay on the matter will show you Grindell is going to find himself looking at the 89 of Cirrus Duringe. They all back up into each other. Then a tap there from the 742 of Zach Knowles causes multiple drivers to go around. Jack Painter, notably one of which, and now as we see pit road occupied by River Page and Cole Fralick, it's the 77 back on the way, looking to get some laps back. Yellow flags out once again, this time for Harry Grindell going around on contact from the 742.
Right you are. The 62 James Thurston now looking like Rudy Valentine earlier this race. Going to be the one in control out here at the front with just a few more laps to go. It does seem like a lot though, about 45 laps here left to go. 43 laps here left to go. Doesn't seem like super long, but those laps are going to go by super quick. With these guys setting 20-second lap times, so every 3 laps is just a minute. So this is going to be a fast-paced last bit of the race. With everyone pushing as hard as they can, we're going to see some great battles here at the front.
And now, with so little time remaining, over 100 laps complete, making it 42 laps to go this time by, we'll go green with only 40 laps remaining. Unbelievable action up in front. James Thurston battling with the 27 machine of Tryphon Davis, and just like that, we've got ourselves a whole new ball game. 62 machines gotten up front. The 27 of Driving Davis, of course, holding on steady, but it looks like the new tires are coming up now and wearing in quite nicely. Will we see any other pit stops? I'm not quite sure. With the way things have gone, there's always a chance.
Right you are, with a chance to go left. 42 laps to go. This is going to be a great ending to so far what's been a great race. We've seen a lot of stuff. We've seen flips. We've seen wrecking. We've seen racing. We've been seeing side-by-side action all throughout the field. We've seen lead changes. We've seen long green flag stretches. This race has had it all.
And now we're looking to see who will have it all at the end of it. The checkered flag in sight for these guys. James Thurston, knowing that this performance is worthy of a victory. Whether or not he'll be able to take it, though, that depends on how he manages for the rest of this one, as the caution extended by one extra lap will become 39 laps to go when the green returns to action. Now, the pace car lights are off. The pace truck lights have been removed, and we'll be going racing side by side. They all get. Nolan Sanford, up 8 positions, is now in third, looking to be the underdog driver, battling for the win.
Right you are, as we're going to go down the back. Any other thoughts between the whole field as we're going to go green with about 39 laps to go, David? We've seen a lot of great racing here in the front. James Thurston leads the inside lane. And Tryphon Davis, these two have been going at it the whole time.
Well, one thing we haven't noticed is how many drivers are off the track. Only 13 on the lead lap now. Next man behind that is 12 laps down. Only the few can survive here in Nashville as the green flag's out once again. Make it 39 laps to go, and the Music City 150 enters crunch time. 62 down low's got the lead once again. However, he's not clear. Not enough. 27 of Tryphon Davis tries to battle up high as they come by the corners 3 and 4. The 27 gives his all, but it might not be enough to complete the pass. Side by side, the race lead is still a battle, and Davis works up high with some magic momentum.
Right you are, just coming into about 35 laps to go. This has been a great race between all these drivers here at the front. James Thurston now trying to get away with that inside lane, but it's not working. He's not as fast as Tryphon Davis, who's hooking it around that outside lane. 37 laps to go as we go down the back straightaway. That 62, that 27 have been battling it out for the past, I'm going to say, 40 laps. These two have been side by side, and it has been close to the wire every single lap. 36 laps to go. The 62 had a nose over the 27, but it's been the same story ever since they went green.
Down low, the 62 drops it once again. He's got Tryphon Davis still there on him, and they've been the closest they've been all race long. It's a bit redundant to say, but this is the best the battle's been for your top two guys. 62 down low, and it looks like the all-dominant bottom lane is just not able to clear anymore. The high side giving him a run for his money, the likes of which unexpected for the most part tonight. Now, as they come through once again, Thurston with a nose out ahead as a slight advantage, but it's not enough to say for sure whether or not it's going to be the race winning potential. Now he's gotten it clear, but not by all too much either. 27 drops it back up high, tries to use that momentum, but gets loose, and now the lap machines might be all that saves the number 27. 33 to go. Thurston has the lead.
You're absolutely right about that, David. This race has had it all. We've had great side-by-side action. We've had flips. We've had wrecks. We've had long green flag runs, and Isaac Johnson almost gets in the wall. Now side-by-side action as, oh my God, Harry Grindell saves it. Rudy Valentin almost sent it 3 wide middle. This has been a crazy race. Now side-by-side with David Cabrera is the 70 of Harry Grindell, the British native here in OSRL Racing. I think it's 3 in the morning over there for him, so he's hauling all of this early in the morning, and Rudy Valentin making his charge to get back to the front and continue racing. James Thurston for the win, not looking as it was just a few laps ago, where Rudy Valentin was fighting hard for James Thurston with the win. So got Sirius Garinja in front of him, and Nathan Kiani, who's done a good job to recover to where he is right now. So far, his race not had gone really well. Now, things are changing up.
Nathan Chiani battling right now with Griffin Jones. There's only 13 drivers on the lead lap, going back to Jones as it stands, and it looks like the number 17 machine pressured up high, with the 53 having the preferred line right down low. 30 laps to go this time by, and James Thurston is still the overall leader. As we look up in front, it looks like Triffin Davis is now fading back in second. It's a single file line for the most part, and after such a hard-fought battle, we'd have thought it'd be a bit more aggressive at this rate. One thing's for certain, one driver's been aggressive, and that man is William Schmidt. Schmidt is up 20 positions on the day as the 53 tries to get one up on the Nathan Chiani machine. It looks like he'll be able to clear him. Aggression in the back of the field. Maybe there's a chance to see some more up in front, but Thurston clears time after time that much quicker. Painter down low trying to get it on David Cabrera, and a battle brews once again.
Right, you are Jack Painter, our last race prelim winner. Now fighting it out with a 31 Chevy sponsored David Cabrera, now out on track. Jack Painter in the 97. After who's had a topsy-turvy race compared to his almost dominance in the last race, we found him out in front through the whole time throughout the Bs. Now it doesn't look like it's going to be the same story here with just 26 laps to go. As he goes down the back straightaway, he will clear David Cabrera.
And now we look at Josh Stoltz as the majority of the drivers that are still on the track are fighting on the lead lap. It looks like Stoltz is 5 laps down. And as we stand, number 9 iMachine still on the way. And we are being given word that the 99 machine had wrecked just a few laps ago. However, he was on pit road 8 minutes ago. We'll look at whether or not we can get an incident report and a replay. However, the shot is slim with 24 laps remaining. We'll keep it up with the live feed at the moment, as it looks like the 99 is still on his way. He got loose, and that's the most recent incident. Not necessarily a full-on wreck, but he does go around, and it loses him that much more time. Make it 23 to go this time by, and you know what that means live on FTN. The next lap begins our Crank It Up. 22 to go, coming this time by. And for track cams for Gormans, the best cameras on the iRacing platform, we're getting ready to crank it up as they come to the start-finish. 22 to go, brought to you by the best cameras on the platform, TrackCams22.com. And as we come down with 18 laps to go, it is still James Thurston leading. The battle rages on back. 62's got the edge. Rest of the field is still on fighting. The final stretch in the Music City 150 is here, and the Nashville Fairgrounds has been treated to 2 fantastic races. The late model is giving us one hell of a show as William Schmidt now tries to chase down Triffin Davis right ahead of him. Rudy Valentine now working off the back bumper of Cirrus Geringe, and that's another battle going as the number 78 works his way down low. He might have an opportunity to go for it as he finds himself down to the inside of the 89 for the first time all race.
And right you are, David, coming with now 15 laps to go. We're coming in a handful of laps left in this race. Rudy Valentine, who was once our dominant leader, now finds himself nearing the back of the top 5. We find Rudy Valentine there in about 6th position. So right as I said, rounding out that back end of the top 5, James Thurston is on a mission to win this race. he has pulled a gap of over 1.5 seconds over Trifon Davis, and this almost seems to be an over for James Thurston unless a late race caution comes out. Looks like it's the James Thurston show, all in that 62 out front right now.
Now, I wouldn't say it's over. Of course, anything can happen. Say he makes a mistake, say someone else does. But William Schmidt right now trying to make sure he has a chance to go deeper in the podium. Now it's going to be Schmidt in his 79 up into second. Griffin Davis is in third. And the swap for position comes rather quick. Schmidt making quick work as David Cabrera limps down to the inside line, and even dozen remaining. And the remainder of the field up ahead continues to battle with all they know. Now, the 89 machine running that Mo Perry sponsored machine. It looks like it is Sirius Durange working with Rudy Valentina. Rudy's got himself in the sights of multiple drivers. The question is whether or not he's quick enough to make those passes. Griffin Davis might be running out of steam. The battle for second is close, but nobody is around your race leader, Thurston, in a world of his own.
Right, you are exactly, David. Now coming with about 10 laps to go. This 62 has been on rails ever since he took the lead in the Kevin Harvick number 62 machine out on track. Ford Camp looking happy as we have 9 laps to go here in Nashville Fairgrounds. And it looks like it's gone the way of James Thurston ever since he took the lead, been strong out front. I don't see anything else happening to him, honestly.
It looks like as long as he just keeps it on the track, he should be good to go, but it's always an assumption before that final lap comes. 89 going to be up high on Rudy Valentin. Rudy's going to try to take him deep down to the low side and get that pass at the line. He barely had the position, so Rudy still fighting to stay inside that top 5. Off the driver's cam view in a sort of way that's a little different than usual. Nolan Sanford, you not only see the helmet cam, but you see the track at the same time. Gives you all the angles here. You can see the wheel working, and you can see the drivers behind him doing battle. Now, whether or not Nolan Sanford keeps this spot, it is not all understood. He's got a lot of pressure on him now. It's not a given. Maybe Rudy can power through and find himself charging for the podium. It could happen as he goes down to the inside on your number 52 once again.
Right, you are now coming to about a very handful, 5 laps to go. James Thurston has walked away from the rest of this field, and right now it's going completely his way. Nothing else has gone in the way of stopping his charge out front right now with 5 laps to go. Rudy Valentin, who used to be the dominant force here in early tonight's race, now finds himself fighting for the top 5.
And the top 5 battle rages on with 5 laps remaining. Time is of the essence for all these drivers. And for Rudy Valentin, he's trying to get around Nolan Sanford and quick. Griffin Davis is the next man ahead of him. If he wants any opportunity at the podium, he'll have to get there and get there quick. All eyes on the 78. If he's got a battle to finish, maybe he can get something done, or maybe it's over from here.
Right, you are. James Thurston now coming with 3 laps to go. It's been his race to win ever since he took the lead once again in the number 62 Kevin Harvick machine. Ford Camp looking strong and happy as one of their flagship drivers out front right now. Is this one of our leaders for the possible championship in the OSRL Short Track Series? Just 2 laps to go for James Thurston to come out on top with the lead. He only needs to make it around this track 2 more times cleanly as he enters turns 3 and 4. It looks like nothing's going to happen to prevent that white flag in the air for the number 62 of James Thurston, who enters into turns 1 and 2 with everything he needs to win, going down the back straightaway with just 2 more corners to go. James Thurston has wrapped up this race 40 laps ago. Strongly went out and strongly finished. It's the number 62 of James Thurston to come home victorious from Nashville Fairgrounds in the feature.
And the Fairgrounds is his, claiming his first win, the Short Track Showdown, on his first appearance. The rookie does it again and begins his celebration, wiggling it down the stretch. We'll pause for interviews, of course, very soon. Wait on the results as we watch James Thurston burn down the house for the first time in his time, of course, as a driver in this series. Looks like we're getting the results block there. Take a look at this. The 62 gets to burn down the house after a well-earned victory.
The number 62 was ferocious all race and goes for the lead. He goes for the lead of the championship.
And the championship lead, James Thurston's with a win on debut. He's got to feel great about that. Number 62 machine did exactly what he needed, and now coming home as a race winner. Fantastic feeling for the guy in that number 62 machine. James Thurston getting it done. Checkered flag. It is his. And now he takes it up to the start-finish line. James Thurston gets it done over William Schmidt in second, with Rudy Valentine third and Trippin Davis in position number 4. It's Cirrus Duringe in fifth and Nolan Sanford in sixth, with Harry Grindell in position number 7 and Jack Painter in 8th. Wesley Person is 9th, and to round out your top 10, the number 53 battles back all the way. Griffin Jones finds himself in 10th, gaining 17 spots. William Schmidt is your hard charger, 22 gained.
Rounding out the rest of the grid, we've got Nathan Kiani, Zach Nichols, David Cabrera, Isaac Johnson, Josh L. Stoltz, Wesley Parker, Cole Freilich, Mo Perry, River Page, Vincent Goechi to round out the top 20.
And the remainder of the field from there sees Scott Roush in 21st, Jack Lauer in 22nd, and Marty Farrell in 23rd, with Corey Vervinick in 24th, and Nate Stewart in the 25th position. It's Spencer Ray, position number 26, with Adam Sweet in 27th, and to round out the field, 28th and last, Michael Cormenis in his number 25. How about it? The 28-car field sees a brand new driver, a rookie, get it done, and the number 62 is a winner again in OSRL, this time at the hands of James Thurston and his Kevin Harvick. Homage paint scheme. Looks like it drove like a champion tonight, winning on debut. How do you feel after this one?
Yes. I mean, that was... I didn't know if I was going to have a real shot at this win, because, like, I mean, I'm really good at this track. I've done a lot of races here, but, like... I mean, with all the cautions, it was just Rudy. He kept getting the lead every single restart. Then that one restart, I finally got ahead of him and got control of the race just for us to pit and guys to do some different strategy than me. And I got put back there in like 6th. Then I had to go back through the field again. And then I eventually made my way back up to the lead again on a restart. And I got in front of him. And then we had another restart, and he got back in front of me. And then we battled side by side for what felt like the same duel twice. I mean, that was a lot of fun. And then afterwards, I mean, you saw it. I just got in my groove here and just kind of pulled away. That was a lot of fun. Thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports, the awesome Kevin Harvick car. Just everything about this is awesome. Just really fun race.
And able to bring on a great opener of the season. The 62's a winner already. The late model stocks, Nashville, I'm not quite sure if you have experience with them, but you sure drove like a veteran there. What was the most important thing that got you to that race victory with all the competitive drivers up ahead posing a major challenge?
I think above all was just the restarts, because if you're not good at the restarts here, you're just not going to do well. But secondly, I think it was really the line that I was running. It's just this kind of weird line that I've learned. It's not really something I don't even think you can really teach. It's just kind of an easy sort of, bottom feeding lane, and you just gotta let the car roll where it wants. And I think that's what I did. And I pulled 2.3 seconds or something, and yeah, it was really, really fun. Just I love these cars a lot. I haven't got a lot of experience in these cars, but they look awesome. They just look like a race car. They're so cool. And yeah, hopefully we can do some more races like this, and maybe not even just league. I just wanted to do more of these cars in general. They're a lot of fun.
Well, looks like you're in the right place for that. The Friday night Short Track Showdown returns to the Las Vegas Bull Ring next week, and it's going to be another great race there. 125 laps. Do you think you'll be back to try to defend your race-winning crown?
I don't know. I don't own the Bull Ring, so if I get it, then yeah, we'll race there. But yeah, I don't own it yet, so we'll see. But this was a lot of fun tonight, and when I can attend these races in the future, I definitely will. This is lots of fun. I got a little chaotic at some points, but I mean, that's just the nature of late model racing.
I think right you are, James Thurston, coming away with the win. And I just think, I mean, ever since you took the lead with about 40 laps to go, it was pretty much your race to win, and you just drove away. Anything about how these cars drove over the long run?
Yeah, I think a lot of people say these cars have too much grip, but I think that's really for the short run. Once you get on the longer run, they don't have as much grip. They kind of do get a little bit slidey, and you got to control them. And yeah, if you burn off any of your tires, whether it's the right front or right rear, it's going to drive really bad. And I think some of these guys saw that. And yeah, you wouldn't think of it with these cars that much. You don't really think of the tire wear being that much of a factor, but it definitely is. It's not as much as like some cars are, but it's there, and it's what, you know, can win or lose you a race.
And right you are. Absolutely dominant race from you to finish first after the last 40 laps you just completely drove away from. Any final thoughts?
Just awesome to win the race, and I wasn't even planning on doing this, and I just saw it was happening, and I came in here and decided let's go racing.
Well, all right, you seem to have come away as the winner, and we'll probably have to update the points after this, but congratulations on the win, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was the voice of the winner, James Thurston. The rest of the top three are not in VC, so we can't actually interview them. So, David, what are we going to do from here?
We're going to ask for those guys to get right in here, get the interviews from second and third. Looks like they're not ready just yet. Just made contact with Rudy and William Schmidt. Third is Rudy Valentine. Second is Schmidt. We'll take it to a brief iRacing promotional break and make sure the drivers can get in. If they're not, we'll wrap up the stream from there. We'll be right back after this brief break to make sure we can get our interviews in and give you one final message courtesy of iRacing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. This has been the publication of the redesign and rebranding of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.
And as we return back from our brief break, it looks like our second and third place finishers won't be here to talk with us. Second is our man in the 79, William Schmidt, and third is Rudy Valentine on the day. As we send it back to the live feed one final time, it's been a great show here on FTN. Alex, how do you feel going into next week at the Bull Ring, setting the stage tonight? What's it going to take for these guys to keep the success rolling as the Short Track Showdown is back in session?
It's going to take a lot of consistency if you want to win this championship, or you could do what Braden Mulvick does and consistent at the front. He was the winningest driver last season in OSRL, and that's what led him to win the championship again for the second time in a row. First ever OSRL back-to-back champion. Now that he's not racing full-time, it opens the door for a multitude of other drivers to win, so consistency is key, and that's how I see you winning the championship in this series.
All about consistency, and tonight James Thurston establishes himself as a consistent contender here in the OSRL Short Track Showdown. The Music City 150 gives us one hell of a show. Gotta thank all the viewers for coming out tonight, watching live on FTN. The season's only just begun, and we will be back next Friday night with more OSRL action. If you want to join the FTN community, scan that QR code on your screen to join our official Discord to know whenever we are going live and what leagues we're working if you want to join the fun as a driver or as a viewer. This is our schedule from this week, but it will be the same for the most part next week. We'll be back next with the Schumacher Racing League on Monday night, 8:45 Eastern, the Octane Series and FORL Tuesday and Wednesday respectively, 8:50 Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern, both of their starting times. Sure to be a great show as well. Road to Pro will be back in 2 weeks' time, and that's going to be another exciting run with the trucks. And we'll be back here on Friday nights looking to rip at it once again at the Bull Ring. I've been David Kreutz alongside Alexander Balderas, co-hosting tonight's event with Cody Demers behind the board, pushing the buttons for the screens. Got to thank y'all for viewing once again. From our studios to your homes, we hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation of the Short Track Showdown, and we hope to see you once again whenever we're live on FTN.